Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Greetings to you all. Thank you for being here today. Thank you to all my wonderful subscribers, my new subscribers. I cannot thank you guys enough for the support. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. I don't take you for granted. You guys know I love you all. I appreciate you coming here and supporting me. How is the start to your week? I hope your week has started off very fruitful and peaceful and joyful and enjoyable. My Monday was a bit busy, but it wasn't too crazy, so I'm glad. Yay! Highly favored. Greetings to you. Welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate you. Guys, make una entre. Our last village meeting. Omo. OJMO, I hope you can make it too, so we can do the second part. So you can hear we can hear you out as well. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you can hear me. Oh, please let me know if you can hear me clearly. May not be sad, just they talk to myself without putting you guys in consideration. Consideration. Let's get this cracking. So, my people, I got a video. Well, I got a couple of videos I want us to talk about. Where is my other? Uh, oh, wait, there we go. Yeah. Oh, great. Thank you very much. Highly favored. I appreciate you. Thank you. So there's some videos. Somebody shared, well, two people shared videos with me and they wanted us to address it. So I'm going to play the first one so we can talk about it. Let me see. Where is it? Okay. Thank you. So I'm going to play the first one so we can talk about it. Oh no, this is not it. Pardon moi, excuse the noise. Mm, 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 mm. Where is this video? Is this the second one? No. Okay, this is the second video. And very interesting video. And I know I probably, yay, OJ you're here. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to play the first video so you guys can. I've been married for 20 years now. Can you hear? My husband had literally nothing when we met at the university. He had great potentials, so I decided to go against all odds to be with him. Back then, my dad was into politics. He was a very worldly man, so I lacked nothing. As an only daughter, I wanted to help my husband, then my boyfriend, make it in life. And so I told my dad boldly that it's him or no one else. Tima, because of the love my dad has for me, right after university, he employed my husband and made him general manager for one of his top companies. We got married right after university. My dad gifted us our first home and bought him a car. In fact, I was very fulfilled, and my husband never disappointed all of us. He kept working so hard, and today he owns one of the top companies in the country. Tima, the issue is that about 5 years ago, my husband decided he needed a personal assistant because we all agreed there was so much he could forget due to his workload. And so I introduced my goddaughter and made my husband employ her. The work is so tedious that I hardly saw her, but once in a while, she calls to check up and vice versa. She even come home most weekends to help me with one or two stuff. Tima, somewhere last 4 years, which was a year after working with my husband, she called me that she got pregnant and that she wanted to keep it. But the boyfriend doesn't really have money and was asking me for advice. Tima, I advised her to keep the baby and even requested to meet the guy, but she was always tossing, so I left it and she had the baby. Finally,
And right after delivery, within 6 months, she got pregnant again. This time around, my husband was the one to even break the news to me. So I called her, then she said it's the same guy. So I even raised concerns that the guy must marry her, which she agreed. So I left it there. So just last week, my goddaughter's best friend, whom she recommended, and I made my husband employ her as his PRO, asked to see me, and I was surprised. To cut the long story short, I asked this lady to come over, and to my utmost surprise, she shows me pictures of traditional marriage ceremony of my husband and my goddaughter, and went ahead to tell me that her 2 kids are for my husband as well. I asked why she's not telling me. She said she just couldn't anymore because I was so good to both her and my goddaughter. Tima, as I'm sitting here, there are so many things going through my mind. At the traditional marriage ceremony, I saw my husband's parents and his siblings. So I was asking myself, where did I go wrong? As for my goddaughter, I don't even know what to say. This girl is my best friend's daughter. She's late and she had her as a teenager. So she's now in her mid-20s. So I took it upon myself to sponsor her education since she's such an intelligent girl. I love her so much and I'm still shocked at her behavior. This world is so cruel. Tima, I am 45 years now with 2 kids. And you see, I'm just hurt and pained. Tima, a man I picked from nothing and made him something. Jesus, I feel like dying. I haven't even gathered the courage yet to ask him. I'm still his legally married wife. 2 people I do cherish and trust decided to break me into pieces. But please, what do I do?
Okay, oh, you people have heard, oh. You people have heard, oh. Welcome, Eunice. Welcome, Bingpe. Great to have you guys here. Thank you so much. When I don't hear the story, oh, so not be only me go break this matter down. I go share my my link. Make we talk about this situation because nobody only me no fit talk put for this matter. Mirabel, my love, welcome. Good to see you. Eh? Oh yeah. Hey Cynthia. Oh my. Okay, should I play it again for those that just came in? It's a short video, luckily, so we can all be caught on. Let me get some yes, or do you guys want to catch them up? So Mirabel is a story about a woman who found out, and Cynthia as well. Um, did you guys hear the story, or do you want me to play it one more time? Let me know. You want me to play it one more time? Okay. All right. So, all right. Oh, you've heard it. Okay, Cynthia has heard it. Mirabel, have you heard it? Mirabel, you not dey hear anything. Just let me know whether you hear so that I go play am again. Cause I know say Mirabel no fit do if he never hear. Eh? Now hear Mirabel. Okay. All right. I'll play it again. All right.
Ma, I've been married for 20 years now. My husband had literally nothing when we met at the university. He had great potentials, so I decided to go against all odds to be with him. Back then, my dad was into politics. He was a very wealthy man, so I lacked nothing. As an only daughter, I wanted to help my husband, then my boyfriend, make it in life. And so I told my dad boldly that it's him or no one else. Tima, because of the love my dad has for me, right after university, he employed my husband and made him general manager for one of his top companies. We got married right after university. My dad gifted us our first home and bought him a car. In fact, I was very fulfilled, and my husband never disappointed all of us. He kept working so hard, and today he owns one of the top companies in the country. Tima, The issue is that about 5 years ago, my husband decided he needed a personal assistant because we all agreed there was so much he could forget due to his workload. And so I introduced my goddaughter and made my husband employ her. The work is so tedious that I hardly saw her, but once in a while, she calls to check up and vice versa. She even come home most weekends to help me with one or two stuff. Tima, somewhere last 4 years, which was a year after working with my husband, she called me that she got pregnant and that she wanted to keep it. But the boyfriend doesn't really have money and was asking me for advice. Tima, I advised her to keep the baby and even requested to meet the guy, but she was always tossing. So I left it and she had the baby. Finally, and right after delivery, within 6 months, she got pregnant again. This time around, my husband was the one to even break the news to me. So I called her, then she said it's the same guy. So I even raised concerns that the guy must marry her, which she agreed. So I left it there. So just last week, my goddaughter's best friend, whom she recommended, and I made my husband employ her as his PRO, asked to see me, and I was surprised. Tima, to cut the long story short, I asked this lady to come over, and to my utmost surprise, she shows me pictures of traditional marriage ceremony of my husband and my goddaughter, and went ahead to tell me that her 2 kids are for my husband as well. I asked why she's not telling me. She said she just couldn't anymore because I was so good to both her and my goddaughter. Tima, as I'm sitting here, there are so many things going through my mind. At the traditional marriage ceremony, I saw my husband's parents and his siblings. So I was asking myself, where did I go wrong? As for my goddaughter, I don't even know what to say. This girl is my best friend's daughter. She's late and she had her as a teenager. So she's now in her mid-20s. So I took it upon myself to sponsor her education since she's such an intelligent girl. I love her so much and I'm still shocked at her behavior. This world is so cruel. Tima, I am 45 years now with 2 kids. And you see, I'm just hurt and pained. Tima, a man I picked from nothing and made him something. Jesus, I feel like dying. I haven't even gathered the courage yet to ask him. I'm still his legally married wife. 2 people I do cherish and trust decided to break me into pieces. But please, what do I do?
Okay, oh, now don't hear the story. What will she do? Oh, make una advice. Let me share my link again. You people should come and advise. Only me cannot give this advice. This is a effort combination. Let's come and advise her. What would you do if you were in her shoes? Let's hear. What will you people do? This matter is strong. Kakaraka. Yeah. And Cynthia, that's true. The photo is there, right? Of the wedding, confirmation of what again? I guess she's asking emotionally. You know, she's emotionally her marriage now. Eunice, you have a migraine already. Please go and drink water. We must come and break this matter down, I beg. We never start to dey talk. You don't get no, I beg, no get migraine. No, we must resolve this matter. No, somebody sent it to me. OJ Moore actually forwarded this to me through email. She wanted us to talk about it. So, hey Cynthia, darling,
Hello. How are
good
you?
to see you here again.
How are you? Good
I'm
afternoon.
good.
It's afternoon, evening where you are.
Evening, oh, my
Oh,
sister.
okay. Good evening. Good morning. It's morning here.
I know. How now? How are
Calling
your
each other.
kids?
I'm good. They're good. Thank you. How's work and
That's
everything?
good. Oh, work is good. Thank God.
Good.
Today's
Good.
done. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Oh, you know the story. It was dropped in
Mm-hmm.
our Body Fam WhatsApp group in the UK. Somebody
Okay.
posted, yeah, this morning actually.
Okay.
So we was kind of people had different points going backwards and forwards. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the story is it's a sad. I mean, it's sad to an extent, but when people come out and say, "Oh, what should I do? What should I do?" It's like, I mean, you know what you're gonna do regardless. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
It's either
Right.
you want somebody to validate a decision that you know you want to make, or you want validation, and then you'll still go against the decision and suggestions that people have made. So ultimately it's the woman's, it's her decision. But a typical African woman, which by the sounds of it this woman is, she'll stay her ass right where she is, continuing the marriage,
Right.
and be a first wife and manage her new family and her new polygamous relationship, just as the same that wife of your Adochi is still doing. So I
Yeah.
mean, what's there to talk about? You know, she has the means. She said that it's her family that are the ones that have raised the guy to the level that he got to. So
Mm-hmm.
even though you seem to be financially stable, you're still asking, what should you do? I mean, you've seen the picture, and she said that she hasn't even confronted the man. And a week later, I don't understand. You know, I'm not
Hmm.
understanding. It's a mess. But a lot of the conversation, for me personally, I'm not even looking at the relationship, because I feel like the decision she'll make is she'll just stay where she is. So it's kind of a redundant question. Um, my issue with this story when I heard it was the fact that this woman, for me, it's like there was already a problem. There was already going to be a problem in the relationship, because her dad built this. Her dad was the one that was financing this man.
Right.
So from the beginning of the relationship, I feel like the man was already emasculated very early on. So when he gets
That's
to a
a good
certain level,
angle.
yeah.
That's
So
a good angle.
when he got to a certain level where now he had a successful company, of course he's going to go and find somebody that's his subordinate, which is the power dynamic between himself and the PA, because he's in a high position other than being with his wife, who has always been the one putting the battery in his back financially and making him less of a man. You
Okay,
know,
so to
I'm
that, quickly, let
yeah.
me sneak something in before you proceed because this
Mm.
is really good. So to that, you know, um, so is it now? This is just I'm trying to play devil's advocate now. Is it now a bad thing to help someone to support someone from nothing and make them something? Is this now a bad thing? You know,
It's a
because
yeah. Go on.
it's like she her father helped him and all of that, pulled him up, and now he has all this money, so he never, are we not going to say he never really felt like a man because he was helped all the way? And is
I
that a
think
bad
so.
thing? Should people stop doing that, I guess?
Listen, me personally, I don't subscribe to helping a man. Not to, a man. Let me correct myself. I don't subscribe to helping a man build a man from nothing. What she said is the man was nothing. So to imply that the man was nothing means you literally picked him, dusted him
Mm-hmm.
off,
Yeah.
made directed his life a certain way, which is what her dad did. He made her. He didn't work for anything. Do you
Mm.
understand? At a certain
Right.
point, he was on a fast track trajectory because of the affiliation with the
With
woman
the daughter.
through her
Yeah.
dad. Do you understand? So if you
Right.
haven't worked, if you've not really worked for something, you've just been placed in a position of authority, you're not going to respect it. So, okay, he made, at a certain point, he started making money, he started doing well. So why has he decided to treat the woman the way that he has? Well,
Mm.
what's the reason for that? The reason for that is because he does not feel like a man in that relationship. So the next
Right.
thing, when men feel emasculated in terms of finances, in terms of what they're bringing to the table as a man, a lot of them, what they tend to do is to get women or to step out of their marriage with women who are less than them in terms of the hierarchy, because they still
Mm-hmm.
want that position of power. This woman has
Right.
always been the woman, she's always been the one if not her, it's her dad. Which to
Right.
me is like, if a man is, if she wanted to date the guy and her dad said, okay, well, he can work in my company, but he has to start from the bottom. Why did he have to be promoted to a general manager? Why could he not start from the
Exactly.
bottom?
Right.
Do you
Why couldn't he
understand?
be?
Why
Yeah.
could and
If
then
he was
why
a
did
cleaner, why didn't he
yeah,
just start from being a cleaner and work
a
himself?
cleaner? Just give him
Yeah.
a job as an administrator. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Everybody has to start from somewhere. You cannot just join a company. She said he was nothing, so he didn't have the qualification on his own, right? He was already
Mm-hmm.
put as a general manager, and then on top of that, her dad bought him a car, bought
Mm.
them their first house, gave them like, I mean, what did the man really do? Who
Mm.
married her? It's her
Right.
dad that married the daughter.
Mm.
So to me, the issue is not the fact that this I feel like he did all of that because at the end of the day, he wanted to put an imprint, and the only way he can do that to kind of show his masculinity, unfortunately, is having
Right.
a mistress and having a whole nother family aside from his wife. That's just my point.
Mm.
That's just my point. And I
That
never
makes
agree with building, I don't agree with building a guy from nothing. A man should meet, you should meet a man at a certain level, and you as a woman should be able to come in to support him. Not that the
right.
man has just been sitting there scratching his head thinking about where his life should go, and you start financing him, pushing him to do this job, pushing him to, like, it never ends well because men don't value that. And women need to
Mm.
understand that men do not value being financed by their woman in the disguise of help to a certain
Right.
extent. You can't do, because it takes away what actually makes them a man, what makes them
Right.
masculine.
Right.
That's just my point. Yeah.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
Um, Cynthia, you really make a whole lot of sense. And I agree with you, Mirabelle. I don't like the word I picked him up from the gutter. It doesn't matter where the whole phrasing of it, but now, Africa, I'm sure they're Ghanaians, like from her accent. Sounds like it's a Ghanaian, but Africa generally.
Yeah, because I
Um,
feel like if she did it, like, my thing is, if you've helped somebody and you genuinely, like, you administered that help genuinely from the goodness of your heart, right? And she
right.
was married to the guy. You also gained from that help that your dad gave the guy, right? Because you wanted to marry him.
That's
Okay.
true.
So if he wasn't at a certain level, you yourself would not have been able to marry him or continue the relationship. So you wanted to get him to a certain level that was good enough for you. He wasn't
Mm-hmm.
not good enough for you at the time that you met him, right? So then you can't turn around and say, "Oh, I picked him from nothing. I hate when people say that. Then it's better for you not to do anything for me at all if you always throw it in my face. So it's more than
Right.
likely, if she's saying that now, she's
She
probably saying
probably
that
was
when they have
doing it during the
arguments.
marriage.
She's
Right.
probably been saying it or making the man feel like, listen, there's a way that women, I mean, there's a way that us women, we behave when either we make more money than a man, or we
Mm.
have something in terms of we've offered a leverage to a man. If the man is not doing a certain thing, that thing will start to rear its head in those type of insults, like, oh, I bought you from nothing. It's even my dad that gave you, like, if the guy start, do you understand? So I feel like
Right.
in the way that she's made that statement, if you genuinely did something from the goodness of your heart, you're not going to keep throwing that in somebody's face, because that shouldn't be your issue, that you made him from nothing. You enjoyed the man when he got to a certain level because you wanted him. Do you understand? So you cannot turn around
Mm.
and say, you bought him from nothing, you dusted him, you made him better. Like, those kind of comments are, it's pathetic. Then you shouldn't do it at all, So
Like
that's just
degrading
me.
a man.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, that
degrading. I
makes
don't think you need
sense.
to say that. Yeah.
Right. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Mirabelle, welcome to the
Welcome,
show.
Mirabelle.
Hi, Cynthia.
It's
Hi,
good to
Amalia.
have you.
Good to be here. It's just sad. I empathize with the lady. But then again, the issue still has to do with what happened. It still has to do with what those two people that were the closest to her did to her. And whether he was picked from the gutter, or he was picked from heaven, or he was picked from hell, or he was picked from whatever, there's no justification. And regardless of how they started, regardless of the dynamics of their relationship, um there's no justification for the betrayal. There's no justification for what he did. if anything, it's all comes down to individual differences. There are people that will be in situations like that. They'll be very grateful to their partner for, helping them out. And from what she was saying, she said he was doing really good at the job. So he was just not given a job or given the opportunity and was not doing well. She said it herself that he was doing really good. So that is to say he was hardworking. Now, like I was saying, that people put in situations like that. I think Uni said something, in reference to that. They would be forever grateful for that opportunity. They would never betray their spouse. They would always be appreciative. They will always, hold their spouse and, to high esteem and not do that. Now, also, it could also depend on the motive for the person going into the relationship. So the man going to this marriage because she did everything, and he wanted to take advantage of all the opportunities he was getting. That might just be it. Could it be because he actually do care for her and love her and is grateful for that? Because if he actually did care and love this person and he had all of these opportunities given to him, that should, if anything, make him even more in love with his partner and not betray her in that way. Now, if he went into it because, okay, he sees an opportunity and he wants to take it, then it was never because he wanted to be with her. It was because he wanted to take the opportunity. And after he took it, he ended up with whoever he wanted to be with. Secondly, the point is not that he went to go be with someone random. He went to go be with her goddaughter. So even
Mm-hmm.
if he wanted to be with somebody and he came into this relationship because he just wanted the bed of roses and wanted to just get everything he needs and move on to someone that he actually loved, then why would he be her goddaughter? um and I hear Cynthia say it never really ends well. There are no absolutes in life. There are people that situations like this, it ended really amazing, and there are people that, even if the man was the one that picked her from the gutters, like she said, whatever picked her. I have a problem with people saying they picked somebody from the gutters. First of all, that's an issue because nobody is in the gutters,
Right.
and when you say
Right.
that, it just tells the dynamics of what you're actually putting that person through. Like Cynthia
Exactly.
alluded to, maybe she's
Mm-hmm.
also been saying that to him, and kind of
Yes.
using it as a hold against him up until the extent where he feels like, okay, as a man, I guess I have this. I should find somebody that I have something to offer, not someone that offered me everything. And then,
Right.
of course, he looked for somebody that was, a little um um under
Close
him,
to
someone
home.
that he could actually take care of and he could actually feel like a man being with. Now, that could be as a result of her always telling him how she picked him from the gutters, which is a problem. Like, nobody picked any, and I just always have a problem with people telling people I picked you from the gutters because it's very demeaning. So maybe that could
Yes.
have been the issue why he did what he did. Like I said
Mm-hmm.
again, there's no justification. Now,
Right.
my point is people are who they are. Situations exposes who people are. A situation does not make you who you are. It just reveals a side of you. Whether he was the one that picked her up or she was the one that picked him up, he would have done exactly what he would have done. It would have just been
Right.
different scenario, different situation, but he would have done what he would do. So there's no excuse whatsoever of how he felt emasculated or whatever, whatever, whatever. Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he could say all of that, but at the end of the day, regardless of who picked who from the gutters, he would have done exactly what he did to her in a different scenario. And it sucks because the poor lady has to deal with her own partner betraying her, and also have to deal with her goddaughter that's supposedly like a foster child to her doing the same thing to her. And it's so messed up because it could have just been with someone else. Why
Right.
the goddaughter? And my problem is, why was she asking the lady about the child? That was a bit irrelevant. Was Why would
She
she ask
cared.
the lady knowing fully well that that's her husband's child? Like,
She
it's
didn't know. She didn't know when she asked. She didn't know. She didn't know.
no,
The girl. The first time she asked, the girl kind of was not responding. So she kind of left it alone, like, okay, maybe I think the girl said he didn't have a job or something like that.
No, the girl was the one that told the lady that she's pregnant for somebody. I'm just saying, why
Yes.
would she tell the lady that she's pregnant for some
But
mysterious
but
person
it's
when
like
she
a god.
knew it was
It's
her
a
husband's?
But she said it's her godparent because obviously
Yeah.
she's the one that gave her the job, so she sees her and would
And
know
she
that she's
raised her
pregnant.
too.
Mm.
Right. Right.
But why
And
would the girl ask the girl mom though about being pregnant for somebody? Why would she tell her about it?
because of
What
their
girl? I don't get
closeness.
you.
Because of what?
Because of their
Sh-
closeness. And she's a goddaughter to her.
And
And
she's
she
not
But she
gonna.
knows
She's
literally
not.
that's her
raised her.
husband. But she knows that's her girl mom's husband.
But she's not gonna. She's not gonna. She's gonna have the baby. She's not gonna get rid of it. So it's gonna be obvious that she's had a baby. So she has to come and tell her that yeah, I'm having a baby. She just didn't tell her who the father of the child was, which was fair enough.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she kind of feels like, okay, this woman is in my life, so of course she's gonna
Of
see I'm
course.
pregnant. So I have to,
She's the
Yeah.
one that gave
make
her
up
the
a
job and she
story.
works with her husband. So, I mean, she can't hide it since she's keeping the baby. So, obviously, she'll come to her and be like, oh,
Yeah,
I got pregnant, but I don't, the
makes
guy's
sense.
not, the guy's left me, he's run away, whatever. But then it's when she came back a second time and was like, I'm pregnant. And then it's with the same guy. The woman was like, what's going on? And it wasn't even her that said it, it was her husband that told her.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
So the other
it's a
thing I
lot of,
was thinking
it's
about
weird.
too is the other thing that came to my mind too as you were speaking, Honorable, is that the man now, right? The man may have been a very decent man to this woman, may have tried to, make her happy or whatever the case may be, and show his gratitude, for lack of better words. But this woman maybe was always constantly throwing at him that if it wasn't for my dad, I made you, I picked you up. I'm just playing devil's advocate. It may have contributed to him deciding to step out and maybe wanting to deal with her and say, hey, I'm going to go with somebody she really cares about, to hurt her. That
That
could
could be
also
that.
be.
Yeah. I mean, that could be. It's possible. I mean, spite makes you do some evil things, and I mean, for most men, they like to cheat within like close proximity. They're not that smart to think, oh, let
True.
me go and have a relationship with somebody in another country. Like,
Yeah.
it makes
Yeah.
it makes
But
sense to cheat with
but to
somebody that's available, that's
yeah.
close by.
But the thing is, sometimes when people do stuff like that, what's the end game? What are they thinking? Do they feel like, I'm gonna hide it for as long as I can, or when it comes out there, then it is what it is? It's like what are they thinking? What's the long
some of
term
them
goal?
some of them some of them have an I don't care attitude. They're like, well, it serves her right. This is what she gets for being very disrespectful to me. Some people are intentional about what they do, and some people are like, well, it wasn't intentional, but it has happened. Oh well, it is what it is. Maybe in the back the man was trying to, maybe he wasn't intentional. Maybe he didn't want that to happen. He just felt like, oh, this is something I could just have on the
I
side.
beg, Amoy, I beg to differ. There's no
I'm playing devil's
mistake
advocate,
in there's
though.
no mistake in
Okay.
infidelity. There's no
Okay.
mistake. Mistake is picking up the wrong keys, okay? Infidelity is not a mistake. You didn't just fall into it. You planned, you calculated, you made your move, and you accepted it.
So are you
Unless
saying
of course,
she didn't fall pregnant? She fell pregnant. No, as they say,
what?
she fell pregnant. The girl fell pregnant.
So what's the problem? Is the problem that the girl was pregnant, or the problem is actually that the man cheated? So if she wasn't
No,
pregnant, then what?
no. There's a problem that the man cheated. Of course, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
But there's
I'm
no
just
mistake
joking
though. It's
around
not a
now.
mistake when one partner becomes unfaithful to another partner. It's not a mistake. It might be
That's
a
true.
mistake that you got caught and you didn't clean up your act, but your
This
actions
is
are not a
true.
mistake. And two wrongs do not make a right, regardless of how the lady have made you feel. If it's so horrible, then you can move away from that relationship.
But not
You
everybody
know?
thinks like that, Mirabel. There's some people who say two mistakes will make it. Since she did this to me, I'm gonna find ways to hurt her. There are people like that too, and they will do it because they feel like they can do it. and especially, in a place like that, they're like, well, it has happened. Who cares? She's gonna find out anyway. Let the worst happen. That's what they're gonna say, you know. And to Cynthia's point, that woman is probably gonna stay put, not go anywhere, and just maybe accept the second woman in. We
Cynthia is
don't know.
right. The fact that she's asking someone else, but she hasn't even brought it to his attention. Um,
Exactly.
I
Really,
don't know what she's thinking.
guys. I'll give you a quick story time.
Mm-hmm.
So when I I found out like I found out this is the story. Nobody should judge me, okay? I was in my
we're
20s.
we're not
I was
judging
in my
you. No
20s. No,
judgment
people that
here.
will hear this in future. I'm a very nice person. I've got a very cool temper. Now, okay, I'm more
Okay.
mature. Let me just put the disclaimer out there. So when I was in my 20s, I was dating this guy. This guy chased me down. This Nigerian guy, this Igbo guy. When I moved to where my house is, so I moved to this area, and the first time I moved to the area, I was like moving things into my flat. This guy was like, when you're walking and they are kind of like they've seen you on the road and they kind of do like a U-turn and come back and start
Yeah,
following you alongside. And I was just thinking,
yeah,
what's wrong with this guy? So I was not interested. He had a nice car, looked at him, he looked at me, and I was like, I was not speaking, I was walking, and I turned into my driveway. He turned into my driveway as well. So obviously I stopped and I was like, what kind of freak is this? Anyways, I told him like, I'm not interested. I've got a boyfriend, that kind of thing, to brush him off. I wasn't seeing anybody. But anyways, he kept on asking, oh, we can be friends, we can be friends. Long story short, the guy eventually ran me down and we started talking. We eventually, like, he took me out on a date. We eventually started dating, right? He was a cool person. One day, in some couple of months later, I was having suspicions about this guy cheating. So he used to do this thing where he used to come to my house and he'll be speaking to somebody. Then he'll say, oh, he's going out to meet his friend. But he will never tell me who the friend was. So one time I was in that particular area and I was in like a shopping center. I was trying on shoes in a department store and he walked in with a woman. Yeah. So he walked in with a woman, and because when you're trying on shoes, you're sat down,
yeah.
and the person is like walking down the aisle. So I was sat down in like the concession for the women's shoes, and I looked up and I saw my boyfriend with this woman walking, holding hands, looking lovey-dovey, holding shopping bags, walking out of the store. So obviously I watched them. And that was the area that he always used to tell me, like, oh, I'm going to see my friend in this particular area. So I'm like, okay. I took a picture. I watched him walk up the road, get into his car, and drive away with this woman. So I called him. And I'm like, oh, hey, where are you? Da, 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 trying to chat. He's like,
Right.
oh, I'm with my friend. I'm busy. I was like, oh, okay. So am I seeing you today? Type of thing. He's like, yeah, I'll come and see you later. Whatever. The guy never came to see me. I said, okay, cool. I got your number. No problem. He came to see me the next day. And for some reason, I was going to work. So I used to work during uni. I used to work in a retail store, and I was on my way to work, and I was fuming because obviously I'd been thinking this guy's with this woman. He thinks I'm a fool, and I was boiling. But I didn't have the opportunity to see him. So, anyways, he eventually called me. No, the person called me, but it was from his number. But when I answered, nobody was talking, and I could hear like arguing in the background. So it seemed, so it was like somebody had butt dialed. I don't know. It was like the phone
Right.
was on, but the person, he was not speaking. So he was shouting, and then then I could hear female voice like arguing backwards and forwards, and then he was like scuffling with the phone, and the phone died. So I said, wow, something's going on. Obviously, I went to work. I was getting phone calls from like a private number, ignored them, called the number back, and it was the girl. So the woman called me. The woman called
Wow.
me and she was like, oh, I saw your number on so and so's phone. Who are you? Like, cussing. And I was like, look, I don't know who you are. I'm his girlfriend. She's like, no, how can you be his girlfriend? I've been dating him. And she said since February, the year that we were in, but I had been seeing this guy from the year before. Cause I told you when I was moving house, that's when I saw him. So I'm like, well, I've been dating him since last year. You've just started dating him like in February, right? Anyways, I took that opportunity because I'm not the type of person to be fighting the woman, because to me, it's not the woman's fault, it's the guy's fault. So I just
Right.
used that opportunity to get as much information so that we can start dotting our I's, crossing our T's, and making our stories make sense. So I said, okay, you know
Mm.
what we're going to do is you're going to come to my house, okay?
Mm.
And
Cynthia FBI.
you're gonna call this guy and tell him, because he was still at her house. She said he was sleeping. I said, okay, no problem. When he finishes his sleep, tell him, oh, you know what, babe, let's go to my friend's house. You're gonna somehow I'm gonna get him to come to mine, and you're gonna follow and come to my house as well. So both me and you are gonna surprise this guy, okay? And we're gonna confront him. The girl said, okay, no problem. I don't know what
Wow.
happened. Somehow, in the midst of everything, I think she let it slip, and then she told the guy. So he eventually called me and was like, oh, I know that you've spoken to so and so, blah, 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 blah. He's like, he was now begging me, right? Saying,
Mm.
oh, he made a mistake, he did this, he did that. And then she told me so many things. She told me that this guy had 2 kids. Yeah.
Whoa.
Remember, I'm 20. He had 2 kids. And he used to
Hey.
tell me that he didn't have any. He told me that he had 1 child, and it turned out that he had 2 kids with 2 different women, and then he even had another child somewhere else. So it turned out to be 3 kids, right?
Oh my
Oh my, yeah,
God.
it was a freaking mess. So from that, I said, you know what, this guy, the only pain that he will feel, I know how to deal with him when he comes. So when he came to me, he was begging me. I was asking him. He was still lying. This is the thing that was
Hey.
annoying me. Even though this woman we had sat on the phone my entire shift at work. I had been speaking to her, telling me, oh, tell me, when he told me that this and that, is it your house? She was sending me their pictures when they went clubbing. She was sending me like all their text messages. She was sending me the kids. He had like been out with her and one of his children. The guy was just a mess. Okay, he was a mess.
Hey.
He came to my house. Yeah, the way my head was hot. And then the thing is, I asked him. I said, "Tell me the truth, okay?" Because it's like it's already been opened. I don't feel like there's anything more that you need to lie about. Oh my God, this guy looked me straight in the eye, swore on his dad's grave that the girl is lying. Can you believe that?
Hey. My goodness. Wow.
Looked me in my
Professional.
eye, sweared on his dad's grave. I said, this guy can even kill somebody. Because the type of lying that you're doing, no, it does not make sense. I said, okay, no problem. I was looking for something to throw on him. I was looking around my flat. I don't condone violence, people, okay? Disclaimer. I did this when I was 20. Not now. That's not how I think. That's not how I behave. I'm very calm and very level-headed. But at the time, I was fuming. So what did I do? I got a hammer for my tool. Like I had a hammer on like my toolbox.
No.
I went downstairs. This guy had a Mercedes, one fine, sexy car. I went downstairs into my driveway and I tore that car up. Okay,
Oh my
with
God.
that hammer. Absolutely, yes, I did.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Do you know why I did that, right? It's because the guy was lying to my face, and it's like nothing that I was saying was not affecting him.
Right.
Like the tears that I was crying was not affecting him. The pain that he was putting that girl through was not affecting me. But when I went downstairs, if you see the way that this guy was crying for his car and begging me, I said, "You're sick. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with you. You're sick. This pile of junk. I said to him, since you love this car, yeah, and this car is not making you have sense, I'm dealing with this car. It was my neighbor that had to come out and like restrain me and take me inside. Say, no, don't do that. I'm telling you, I tore his car to pieces, and that was the end of the story.
You didn't say you become Bob the Builder. Oh my
Again,
goodness.
I don't condone
wow.
this. I don't condone that behavior. But I saw red.
Yeah.
I saw red because the guy was lying. He was standing in my face and he was lying so bold, like it was scary.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing.
Of them are like that too.
I don't know. Some men are just crazy. So to me, it's like maybe the woman didn't confront the guy because the guy's already a liar. Even with the picture, even with a DNA test, he'll still say it's not him. Do you understand? Like those type of men, it's
Yeah.
like they gaslight you to make you feel like you're the
Mhm.
crazy one.
Yeah.
So that was my crazy story, but never again. I will never let
Wow.
anybody get me to that level of and you know the thing that annoyed me most is like I didn't even like the guy in the first place. You chased me down.
Right, got me
Do you understand?
interested. Got
You got
my
me interested.
interest.
I'm
I
telling you,
invested in
men.
you.
And you know what? The funny story is, and I didn't speak to him again. The way the guy begged me, until today, this guy is still on my case, and he's still trying to get me back. 15 damn years later, I'm like, dude, never.
He's not married. Are you kidding
Of course,
me?
he couldn't. Nah, he never got married. He just one of these guys that's just making money. He has women here, has kids all over, and you think I'm gonna now? And he's like, "Oh, I've done my bad boys, and I see the type of woman you are to me. So now that you've used up and dried up with your 100 baby mothers, you want me to come and marry you? God forbid. God
Oh my
forbid.
God. He's looking for someone to come and change his diaper.
No, thank
Hey,
you. No, thank you.
old age security. Now wow, what's the
God
person no go
forbid
here?
the things that men will
Hey,
make you do. Ha,
I'm telling
I
you,
was, I said,
wow.
I said never again. Nobody should ever get me to that level of madness. No. So
Mm,
thank God I'm born again.
of course, you know. But you know what
um,
I think with this woman's case is she had right now she's emotionally she's going through it emotionally. So I think Mirabelle made mention of that, or I think it was Cynthia. When she's ready, she will decide what she wants to do. Nobody can advise her. That's just the truth. Nobody can tell her what to do, even if everybody tells her, "Oh, I think you should do it this way." At the end of the day, she's gonna do what she feels is best for her, and she might end up staying with the man and accepting the second woman. As you know, tough as it seems, most African women in Africa, that's especially if you're from Nigeria or maybe Ghana. I don't know if they do it as much in Ghana. I don't know much about Ghana. So please, my Ghanaian people, brothers and sisters, don't come for me. But I know in Africa, in Nigeria especially, we've seen it happen where, the man does that and the woman still remain, you
and she
know.
said
It's
she's 45. She's got 2 kids.
exactly.
It's
So
crazy that people still think like that, but it's the
exactly.
society. So.
It's a society. And
Mm,
in very extreme cases, you have the second wife chasing the first wife out of the house. Usually, that's what happens, where the second wife becomes like a tout, turns herself into a tout, and bring her friends over and make the first wife's life miserable. And then the woman starts feeling very embarrassed and decides to move out. But usually, the women will stay, and because they're not emotional, they're not being able to develop themselves emotionally to recognize that that's not a behavior you should accept, and you're much
mm,
more valuable than that. They would stay, because then they would claim they would claim that they're staying for the children,
yeah,
and then the man will go on again after having two wives. Will go and have another girlfriend
I
outside.
know. Can you imagine?
So it's almost like you are encouraging the bad behavior because you're not holding the man accountable.
Yeah,
The thing, what I would tell her, is hold him accountable. Forget your emotions are there, you're going to go through them. But how about holding the man accountable for that, for what he did to you? Hold him accountable, But would they do that? Will she be able to do that? Is she in the right frame of mind? Does she love herself enough to want to hold him accountable? That's another thing. So I don't know, it's for a typical Nigerian woman, it's between a rock and a hard place. For a
yeah,
lot of us, it's a very easy decision. You'll be crying
yeah.
as you're packing your load. In fact, you won't pack your load when the man
He's
is there.
packing his load. Why am I
You
packing my load? My dad bought the house. Please,
Okay,
you
so
can
you buy
shift.
you arrange his clothes, ship it to him wherever he is, and just
You'll find it
send a message
downstairs.
along.
He'll find
Exactly,
it on the porch.
exactly, right? But the typical African woman wants. So that's why she's
Yeah.
asking, really. She's looking for validation. She's looking for, because if you really know what you want, you're not going to be asking
You don't need to
anybody. You
ask
will
anybody
just
any question.
quietly do your thing and just
Yeah.
move on. But she's
Yeah.
asking because there's still
I
emotions there.
I have a
Yeah.
question.
Definitely.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Is it because you know how she was talking about the dad, but them their first house was the house bought in the man's name, and when she was talking about her dad giving the man a job, hopefully she also have a job in that company, or was she just the girl, so the father has to empower the husband versus empower his own daughter, you know what I mean? So if the man
Yeah.
is becoming a manager of a company that her dad owns, is she the director of that company, or is she just not a part of the company, but well her father has empowered her husband, which indirectly is the provider, the head of the
Right.
household, versus his own daughter. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Because I
absolutely.
hope
That,
that's not the case.
it might be the case because that's
I
what some
think it's the
African
case.
people did. I think that's
Mm.
what because they would wait, and then when they would, I think she was the only daughter according to the story, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
they would say, okay, you bring a man, so they'll just put everything in the man's name, right?
Mm.
Because the man is marrying the woman, and then so the man can take care of the woman. That's what they do. I mean,
That
in
is
some
some
cases,
BS.
yeah,
That
that's
is
what some of
some
this
BS.
African messed
So
up
you have a
tradition.
because yeah, because that's what I'm like. Okay, the man now owns one of the company because he did so good. Now he owns one of the. If he owns one of
Yeah.
your father's company, you better own five of them. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? I
Exactly.
hope
Or
you're
your
not
name
just
should be
there.
all of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
and if
name
he's
should
gonna
be
be made like a supervisor, I hope you're the director, because there should not be
exactly.
any gender situation and issues like this. Because it seemed to be that if the girl is from a well-to-do family, then the men are the ones, or the men they get married to are the ones that are being empowered, not even the children of these
Exact.
people that are
Yeah.
supposedly well-to-do. So then,
Yeah.
what happens when your child is no longer with this person?
They don't
Yeah,
think
but you
about it.
forget. But you forget this is Africa, and they still are
Mm-hmm.
very patriarchal. So more than
Exactly.
likely, the husband has been empowered. The woman has
Mm-hmm.
stepped aside because I mean, the husband has been empowered for the wife, and
So
she's
why
stepping
can't
aside
the
to
wife be
allow her
empowered and then she helps her husband,
because
especially
she's not a man.
if it's coming from her own family? You know, why can't she be the one empowered and then she can of course help her husband? Why should he be the one empowered over her if it's coming from her side of the family? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Not at all.
Unfortunately, yeah, Mirabel, you
Yeah.
make absolute sense. But unfortunately, most times, most African families, especially if they have a daughter and is the only daughter, they will empower the man that the girl is
Mm,
getting married to. And instead of them to empower the girl and make her the head of everything, they will rather give it to the man, which doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand that. I know it's not everybody that does it in Africa, so I'm not saying every African family does it, but some families still do. They will give everything over to the man that the girl is married to, in the expecting that the man will forever be there taking care of the woman. Most of the time, most of the stories that have been told, like, you see a family, a girl from a very wealthy family, and then she meets someone and she starts to date the person. Back in the day, they always gave everything to the man.
mm,
It was very evident at that time. And then what the man does, he will now, after he's stepped up, he will now marry more wives in addition to the woman and make that woman's life miserable. And in fact, inherit the entire wealth and chase the woman away. That a lot of stories have happened like that, so people are learning from it, but there's still some people who still do things the bad, the other side way, which doesn't make sense to me. My pikin go come dey suffer, I will come
yeah.
solve work finish, then another person go come because he marry my pikin. It not go happen, you
Yeah.
know and I
Can
won't
we
even, personally, I don't even support the idea of, you can provide small help, But literally just yanking somebody away and expediting the process for them, I'm not in support of it. Walk
Yeah.
your way up by yourself. Matter of fact, I don't want you to walk in my environment, in my
At all.
family business, or because I don't
Yeah.
want to see finish. I don't want anybody to talk to you anyhow. So I would rather you go and start somewhere else and walk your way up. You'll be managing than for you to come and be chopping from it. It
The
doesn't.
Yeah, the problem with that situation might just be that, and in most cases, it might be a situation where you're buying love, you're buying
Yeah,
whatever,
that's
because you
true.
don't even know, how do you know that this person genuinely want to be with you?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So you put yourself in a very awkward situation because that person will just sit tight because they see the blink blink. So they'll be like, oh, I will love her like I've never loved her before.
They'll play the long game. Men are business minded. They'll play the long game. It's an
Exactly. They'll play
investment.
them all. Exactly. And then
Mm.
get what they want. Once they get what they want, that's it. So let's hope. We're only hoping now that, maybe she's some way in charge somehow. And she's not just a full-time housewife that the man is just sending money to every month. We hope not. We hope that she has her own. We hope. We can only hope because we don't know the entire story. She's asking our advice. She's not here enough for us to ask her, Ngwanu, now you get the business. Is it in your name? So
Can we for a second switch to this girl? And they say, yeah, when your spouse cheat on you, you shouldn't like fight the girl, because you're not committed to the girl, you're committed to your partner. In this case, it's not a stranger. In this case, it's not some random girl. In this case, it's not a girl that has no relationship with a lady. Yes, that man is her husband, which is the relationship, but she also have a probably mother to daughter relationship with a supposed goddaughter. Can
yeah,
we for a second switch to this girl? Like, why
absolutely.
this man? It could have been any other man. Why this man? And if this woman is actually taking care of you as her child, then financially you should be good. So why
Mm-hmm.
this man? Because you can't tell me, oh, you messed with this man because he provides for you. If his wife is actually taking care of you like she claims she is, or you're good, even if you're not, why betray the woman that has done something, not even everything in life, but something for you? Why do that to her? Like the level of betrayal though. Like why?
Yeah. Yeah, there's some people like that, unfortunately. And the truth is, we'll never have answers to that question. The heart is deep. The heart of man is desperately wicked. You can't really not know a person. In this situation, I mean, why would you even look at this woman's husband as somebody that you probably, should be a thing with? He should be like a father figure to you in the first place, and it should be somewhat of an EU if he tries to come onto you. Now, I don't know the dynamics between the woman and the girl. I don't know if there was maltreatment there. I don't know if he treated her somewhat lesser than she was because she doesn't have her parents or anybody around. We don't know those details, right? But then again, we don't also know if the man was the one who forced himself on her. We don't know that too. We just know her that okay, she's been put is in the family way. So there's that angle as well. Even though I'm not taking her side, I don't know her, right? But I'm just looking at everything. There's a possibility because of the power dynamics, right? Because of what's involved. It might have been that the wife intentionally positioned her, that particular goddaughter, to watch her husband, to tell her if he's running around with other girls. You know that's a possibility. Like, at least I trust this one. Let her go and work and be a personal assistant so she can give me stories in case the man, finds another woman or is talking to another woman. I trust her enough to come and tell me. That could
or
have been a
even
dynamic.
or even oh my, yeah, like you're saying, even a situation where she feels like, what, for personal assistance, people tend to be messing with your personal assistants. So maybe if she's a personal assistant, then that's like a daughter to him and he will mess with her. So let me put her in that
Exactly.
position.
Yeah, exactly. There's also that. So if she's like a daughter, it should be an ew. Like, why would you even talk to me? Ew. I've lived with cousins. I've lived with a cousin they were married. They're a young couple, but I used to spend holidays with them when after school. I was in first year college, so when I'm on holidays, I usually go and stay with them. Right? They were a very young couple. The man, my cousin's husband, was like a father figure. I could never see him in that light. Never, not in 100 years. Matter of fact, if he's asking me, oh, so who's your boyfriend? Who's talking to you? I'll be very squeamish. I won't feel like responding. It feels to me like my own father asking me the question. So I used to have this EU attitude towards him, because I never saw him like that. I never, even thought about it, never crossed my mind. So people have different minds and different intentions. And I stayed with them the entire time when I was going to school. And I'm not an ugly person, right? But I just, it never ever, like, so there are people who don't have that mindset. There are people who feel, anywhere belle face, anywhere it happens, man na man, right? There are people who have that attitude. Unfortunately, haven't you seen or heard stories where somebody is maybe a niece to their wife and happens to be working for the husband, and while they're in the office, the niece is trying to seduce the man, or maybe sometimes the man now goes and does what he shouldn't do with the girl in a way that she does not want. We've heard those stories. So there's so many things at play here. We'll never know the truth to that, but I just hope that it's not one of those things. And I just hope that it wasn't a case where the girl intentionally, maybe she had the intention, she saw the man and she liked him and she was like, oh, this is an opportunity. And she had that mind, because karma is going to come for her if that's what she did. It's all about motives and intentions. And it's a very sad story, because I also feel sorry for the woman herself, having, had your own life set and you were thinking. But then again, in life, they say you always expect the best, always wish for the best. But if anything else happens, then okay, well, I gave it my best.
And guys, it's also unfortunate that I really believe this is not the first time. He's
Yes.
probably been cheating on his wife for a very long time with different people. Whatever the case might be, this was just the time where she found out that, the
Oh,
person
you know
happens
what?
to be this person she knows, or this person is pregnant. Only God knows how much more he stepped out on her, and how many other people he
Exactly.
cheated with.
Exactly. Before this, right? That's a good point, Mirabel. And Debs just said something now, which is very important that we need to look at too. It's the parent of the goddaughter. So I think the man's parents, actually, not the goddaughter's parents, because the goddaughter doesn't have parents. The mother was a single mother and she passed on. So she was actually taking care of her. So it was the parents of the man that were there for the wedding that she saw, and she was like, where did she go wrong? They had a whole wedding and said nothing to her. Everyone was fighting exactly. So there's a deeper story, there's more to it. Do you understand? There's more to this story.
Oh, so wait, so he got married to this girl traditionally, right?
Yes, he did.
So I don't
And
really think he was ever into that relationship with his wife, or if he was, then something happened along the line that they fell out, and maybe she's not
yeah, Mirabel, your audio. Yeah, she's probably not giving us the full. That's what I'm saying. There's
actually
more to the
together.
story.
Um,
Yeah,
I don't know. It sucks though, but yeah. I think there's more
yeah,
to the story. It's very tumultuous. The fact that his own parents would even, go along with getting married to this girl behind her back. I,
yeah.
I think it's just a lot of bitterness a lot of stuff has gone down.
Has happened. Exactly. A lot of things have happened. And that's why, and we'll never hear the man's story, the man's side, unless he chooses to come out and reveal himself.
Plot
But
twist. What if the goddaughter was the one he was dating first? before this woman came along and
It couldn't have been
and
possible
showed
because
him
the
all the flashy
goddaughter,
things in life. What if that was the goddaughter was actually his first love, or the person that he wanted to be with? He was actually with, and then that happened. Hey,
yeah. But then again, that it wouldn't have been the case because the goddaughter was very, very young because she was one who raised the goddaughter because the goddaughter's mother had passed on. Okay. So she was very young. So it won't have been the case. But then again, my point is there must have been some type of they must have been having some real issues in that wedding, deeper in that marriage, deeper issues, to make the man take that kind of step to go and do traditional marriage secretly with his own parents, so his parents were in attendance to come and pay bride price for her. That's deep, man. So there must have been. This sounds like the Yul and May's case. I was hearing, I think I saw that Judy is pregnant again for the second time. I beg me kuna tell me whether na
I,
lie or not be
that
lying.
is that's actually one news that I've heard. I never hear anything.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm like, it's so crazy. I don't know what May is going to do, and I digress a little bit here. This is the time for her to just cut it off, like clean, and move on. There's no need. But then again, I'm not
At
in
this
Africa. I'm not in Nigeria. People think differently.
at this point, honestly, I'm not even go. I was among the people that said she probably did not know nothing at all. But at this point, I'm not gonna say she didn't know nothing at all, because even Judy's ex-husband knew everything. Knew
Thank
when she
you.
left him. Knew when everyone knew. There's no way she did not know. Well, maybe she did not know that he was gonna announce it to the world. That was why she said, "May God judge the two of you." But at some point in that marriage, the marriage could have been strained. She could have just known that this guy has another family. She could have just known, because like if Julie's ex-husband knew himself that the girl left and went to go live with Yo, his wife must have known something.
Absolutely. I said
And they have a
from
child, and people in the industry said they've been together for like 7 years or whatever.
yep,
she
yep,
she knew she knew somehow, she knew something, she knew.
yes,
She just
of
did not
course,
know that he was gonna announce it out there the day he did,
yes,
the way he did too.
yes. She did know. I can't because there's no way we're women, right? There's no way for that long because that relationship has been going on 9 years after they got married, or maybe 10 years after they got married. This man was in an active relationship with someone else. There's no way, if you're very close to your man, you've been married and all, there's no way you're not going to, his energy will not lie on,
It's
it will not
true.
tell
Yeah.
on
It's
him.
true. And then it brings me to like the story that I gave, and even though the woman confirmed it, I had suspicions about this guy already because there was things I was seeing that when he would tell me things, it's like not adding up. So I always had that gut feeling. I just didn't have like
Aha,
concrete
the
proof. So
facts,
I think we've been
yes,
on one of your lives before, Omaye, and I said to
yeah,
you that May has known from the beginning, and
yes,
she was more upset with the fact that he went
made
ahead
it
and
public.
made it public and
Mhm.
got married to the woman without keeping her in the loop. Do you understand? Because she
Yes,
didn't say
yes.
that she didn't know about the baby. She didn't say none of that stuff. Because if you've really
Mm-mm.
just been, everything's been sprung on you. She's known about the child. That's why the child has been under wraps for 1 year and nobody has said anything.
Yes,
How do you hide a
yes.
whole baby
Thank
from
you.
Nigerians? Like, it doesn't make
Mm,
sense.
it
And it
does
seems
not.
like that guy lives with that woman. Do you
Yes,
understand? He lives
yes,
in what's that area in Nugu or whatever. He lives with her.
yes.
Do you
Mm-hmm.
understand? So how are they hiding that baby for 1 year and she's saying that she didn't know? Like
And
it's
yeah,
impossible.
it's
Exactly.
not just
You know,
dating. It's not just cheating where you're hiding stuff. He's
they're open.
actively
Yeah,
in two different households. He had
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're open.
two families, two different
Yes,
places. And the fact that she also had her other kids from her previous marriage, so she also had them, and then she has this kid with him. So he actually had two active households. So he would go to hers with the other kids that she had, and there's no way she did not know. So where
Yeah,
would
and
you
for
where would you
me,
say you
yeah,
are? Okay, you're
yeah,
you're
exactly.
working. I'm like, okay. But if people in the industry say they know about it, you had no inclinations whatsoever. Okay, when you didn't hear that she has a child, even if you didn't know it was your husband, she didn't know she had a child, especially if they were co-workers with your husband. Because some people might not even know their partner is cheating with somebody, but they know that person, that it's friends of, familiar
Right.
to your partner. So even if you don't know that that person is messing with your husband, she knew that he
Yeah.
was working a lot with her. People that watch movies see them in movies together, so she knows that he had at least a working relationship with her, right?
Yep,
Because she would know that. So
of
so
course.
where would she think the kid came from? If she knew he had a
Fell
working
from the
relationship
sky.
with them, and she sees her with a new baby and pregnant, she knows that she's no longer with the man she used to be with, then where did the child come from?
Exactly. She knew. I said it from the beginning. Like, there's no way
Yeah.
this woman can say she did not know. She knew. Typical at the typical Nigerian attitude, Nigerian wife mentality. She knew all along. She just thought, let me tell you, she knew that the man was cheating. She even knew who the person he was that
Exactly.
she was cheating with. But she never thought it would get to a point where she'll be having a baby. That's just a fact. And maybe at
Yeah.
the time they were seeing each other, she was still with that her man. So maybe when at the time she got pregnant, in her mind, she just assumed maybe she has gone. Look at this girl. Oh, after doing it with my man, she has now gone. Not my man. Oh, God forbid. After doing it, she now goes and collects stomach from her husband. But maybe because the truth is that
Come on,
even
stomach.
guess what though? At some point, here's another kicker. As women, that kind of thing is happening. Your mate has gotten someone else pregnant. You will feel it. You will know because there's a connection between you and the man. There's no way that God will not give you signs. There's nothing anybody can tell me. You
Oh my
will
yeah,
know.
that your guy is. I don't even think he even got to the stage of he thought that he was having a baby with somebody else. I feel like he's always had an affair with this woman. She has always
Yes,
known, and he's been upfront with it. But at some
yes,
point, I feel like she just didn't expect it to go as far as him getting
as it
her
did.
pregnant because there'd been all this time with no child, right?
Yes.
But I feel like if your husband, like for a man who is married with his own children, he's got like what 4 kids
Mm-hmm.
to be maintaining a relationship with a woman who already has 2 kids of her own. It's
Exactly.
weird. And at the time, he didn't have any child with her. So it's
Mm-mm.
weird. It's weird to me the level of interest that this man is invested in this woman. It's not normal.
Mm-mm.
It's
He
not.
had
It's not like
enough. He had too
he,
much time.
too much
For,
time. He's invested because before his baby came along, he was obviously with the Judy lady, and he's obviously taking care of her children as well.
And
Do you
yes.
Cynthia,
understand? So
Cynthia and
it
Amaye,
makes
this
yeah.
Judy lady was not single. She was also married. So for her to have left that marriage and comes to stay with this person, she left a whole complete marriage and brought out 2 kids and came to stay with
Yes.
this person. Whatever they have was deep. Whatever they have is like
Exactly.
it's
It's
there.
weird.
If that's probably the woman that he loves, and
That's
I
Yes.
what I'm
don't know
saying.
how they
Hundred
did that.
percent.
Yeah, that's probably the
Hundred
person that
percent.
he wants to be with. That's probably, and I think the wife knew all along. And I think for him to even come out there and announce her as a second wife shows the level of comfort. People might say is arrogance, but for him
Yes.
to
Yeah,
get
it's
to that
comfort. The
point,
guy,
that
he's
means he
proud.
knows. Yeah, that means he
Mm,
knows that he does not feel like anything he's doing is wrong because of how deep it has been, probably because of how strained his own relationship with his wife has been, and maybe she probably had a problem with him just putting it out there. Maybe she just thought he would keep it, a secret, and just keep, so
Exactly.
everything would just stay the way they are, and they could probably have an agreement. The people that are married, but they just have weird relationships. They're just
yeah,
married on papers, but they live with separate people.
separate life.
Yes.
Yeah,
They just they've got into that, especially for them to have been married for that long. They probably have got into that point where, for some reason, that's someone else who he actually is in love with is this other person. And this
Yes.
woman gets it. This woman knows what the deal is, and she just kept up with it. And
Yep.
yeah.
maybe
Because I
he
feel
made
I agree. Because I feel for an African man to go to that length It's not like she's a sidekick with no responsibilities, no kids.
Yeah, she has
She comes
two
with baggage.
children.
She
Yeah, she
comes
has
with
her
baggage, and
baggages,
do you
and
understand?
you
And
you
for the
want all of that,
society,
her
yeah,
and
and the
all of
society
it.
that they live in, it's not desirable for a woman who's cheating on her husband and she's got two children that are not yours, and you're so invested in that relationship when you don't even have a child with her. There's something more going on. So he loves that woman. So he's happy. Like,
The
May knows what
ex-husband
she's
even
doing.
said it. The ex-husband said it himself that he could not even like stop her or fight her, and he's accepted that that's who she wants to be with. Her family has accepted
Exactly.
that. So her family are aware of this. The ex-husband is aware of this. She left with two kids, like Cynthia is saying. It's not typical, because typically, a man with a wife and family, he would cheat. He would have a side chick, a younger
But he will
girl,
never leave
no
his wife.
baggage, nothing.
Mhm.
Mm,
You know,
mm.
but for this guy to be with a woman that was previously married and she left that marriage, for her to leave a marriage to go be with another person, and she have children, and this man knows she has children, and this man is invested. Forget it.
There's something
I
deep.
said it from the beginning, that the man loves Judy. That's just what it is. The man loves you. He has chosen what he wants. I said it from the big. I don't talk calm. I think I said it on Obodo Yibo TV. Said this when the story first came out. I'm like, this man, he has made his choice. He loves that lady. Even before all this story of him being with her for 7 years came out. You can you imagine for 7 years? Look at the fire between those two people.
One day we'll find out that she's carrying a ball and running in the street. I will hear the real story.
You
Let's wait and
understand?
see. We'll hear
Exactly.
the
We
real
will hear
story.
just like IVD, Abi, what do they call her?
Because that type of
This
love, there's a level of love, but then there's love that is mixed with madness, which I think is what Yul and Judy have. Their love is not that
uh,
pure because I
exactly.
mean you don't go to those types of level. If you really want to be with the guy, then divorce your husband. But why do you have all them kids with him if you know you don't love the guy? Leave him and go about your life and be a single woman.
You
Do you
don't know.
understand?
Some people don't think
It's
like that. To
crazy.
Mirabel
Yeah.
in
You
Africa,
know?
they will marry for convenience. Marry, they don't love the
Exactly.
person. They will just
And
marry because
and
it's
guys,
It's
you know what
terrible.
I also thought about?
mm,
He also could not have said, as whatever, if he claims to be religious, he would not be like, oh, I'm done with this marriage with this my wife. I'm tired. There's no more love between us. I'm gonna get a divorce. And in this part of the world, people could do that. Say, what,
yeah,
this is not working no more, and go. But in his part of the world, people cannot really do that. So a lot of the time, that's why they go take a second wife, because the first one, the love is over. She's just there, because he does not
exactly.
want to file for a divorce, and he does not want to. It's easier to say I'm marrying a second wife than for you to divorce your wife with 4 children,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
typically you're gonna have more hate or more whatever. It's just unnatural. So you guys would
Yeah.
just stay there, and then you go marry the person that whatever you think you're in love with. So I really, really think that if he was in a part of the country that was okay for him to walk away from a marriage for no reason, for just the fact that he fell out of love, he would have.
So
Yes.
taking it back to the story of that lady, I just want to bring another
Yeah.
angle.
Yeah.
So when we said that the guy, the lady was like she was the daughter. The woman has, both of them. It's not just the woman. She's obviously been in the company of the guy as well. So my thing is, at what point did this guy stop looking at that lady or that girl as a daughter figure and now start looking at her in a lustful way? Do you understand? Like, for me, there's a bit of it's a bit
Maybe he
uncomfortable.
always saw.
Maybe
Maybe he
to
always
me, I
looked
think
at
it's
her
weird. I think he
lustfully.
probably always lusting after the
Yeah.
girl, which is very weird, And a lot
Yeah.
of these men, they do things like that, It could be
Mm-hmm.
like a kind of like, you know, abuse type of situation where he's maybe started grooming this girl very young, and then
Yes.
now she doesn't have much choice. She's already in that kind. Maybe that's her first experience, or I'm going deep, but it could be, and it happens, So now she's fallen into this situation, and she's now got a child with this guy, and now got another child with him, and he's married her. Okay, great. but what was the beginning of that? You know, what was the genesis of that relationship? Because if somebody comes into my home with my husband and I have put this person through school, they've lost their mum, that child is vulnerable. So my
Yes.
husband, that's not somebody he should be thinking to start having a sexual relationship with. Do you understand? So there's a lot of, you know, things are weird there, but in African culture, they'll just say, oh, he married her, there's no problem. There's a problem. You know, when did he start looking at that woman as somebody that he wants to be in a partner with and stop looking at her like a child or his supposed goddaughter or, you know, a daughter figure? It's weird.
We'll never know the truth behind that, but he might have been lusting after her prior long time, and he might have just suddenly started lusting after her. Maybe when she started working with him, you know, depending on how she looks to him, whatever he finds attractive. So we'll never know. I wish the woman well. I hope that she finds the strength and the courage to do the right thing. I pray for her healing, emotional healing, and courage to do what she needs to do, whatever that means to her. Because the truth is, you can't advise African women about marriage. It's a very difficult
hell
subject.
no. I've given up anyway.
They have to get to that emotional place where they can decide what they want to do. So I want to digress now because Marriott also sent me a video that she wants me to talk about. So we're going to get into that. But before I do that, I want to respond to Deb's comment. This sort of men infuriate me. You didn't agree to second wife, but you find yourself in a marriage of 2 or more wives. The deception is what scares me about marriage. This is true. But here's the thing, and this is the advice. This is what I tell. For me, this is my attitude in life. I always expect the best in any situation I find myself. I'm also mindful of the fact that nothing lasts forever. Whether it is someone kicking the bucket and that's it, or you know, something happens and you guys don't see eye to eye again and everybody finds their way. However way that happens, you have to be prepared for the uncertainties of life. You cannot totally be fully prepared, but you should have you should have developed your emotional bank to the point where if something happens to you, the impact is not so hard on you that you feel like just completely giving up on life, because things will happen. I guarantee you, it's for free. It will happen, but you don't know how it's going to happen. So you must always, that emotional balance has to be there. You must make sure that you are in control of your emotions and your feelings, and never put everything. Even if you put everything into something, you must still have a reserve for yourself, because anything can happen. So because of that, nothing scares me. If when I get married today, you know, and maybe God forbid, let's say the man decides, I no go flinch. I tell you for free right now. What did happen when never happened before? I will move on with my life jelly. It's not something that I'm gonna just crumble, you know, under because somebody decides they made a different choice in life. I'm not gonna crumble. I'll feel bad. I may cry, but that doesn't mean that that's the end, because everything must come to an end at some point. However way it comes, we don't know. So we must be prepared for life. You know, so to on that note, Debs, I'm not afraid. You shouldn't be. There's no reason to. If you meet a man and the man decides, oh, now I've seen one flower girl somewhere that I want to, be strong enough, be bold enough, be ready financially and otherwise, and emotionally prepared to say, you know what, make your choice, boo boo. I love you, but make your choice. What do you want? Okay, you want this? Okay, hasta la vista, baby. I'm telling you, it's just that simple. Unless you want the commotion with having a second woman, you are fighting every day over the attention of one man. Is he my God? He's not. So I'm not going to do that. So that's how I see things. That's how I view life, you know. And she says, teach your daughters to ask these questions before marriage. Close proximity for a long period of time can change a relationship. That's very true. So the girl has been living in the house every day. Every day, the man is Siam. The girl is growing on him, growing on him. Then the girl, maybe, you know, African girl now, shapely, figure 8. Hi, you go say, oh, more CEO, tie. But that's just the truth. Before you know, something has happened. God no go let us see wetin pass us. Bimpe says managing expectations in a marriage is very important. Absolutely. To avoid see finish and high blood pressure. Exactly. There's a lady I saw on Instagram one time. She was sharing. She has um she manages her marriage differently. They live in different houses. They've been married for over 20 something years. It works for them. You know what she said? She said, my sanity is very important. I need my peace. I need my time. She says she's the kind of person that spends a lot of time on by herself and she's okay with it. She has her own condo. They have a house together. She and the husband, they have a house that they stay together. That's where the man stays. But she also has her own place where she stays. So they don't see each other often. But it works for them. And they've been married for over 20 something years. We're asking, aren't you afraid he's going to cheat on you? She's like, it doesn't matter to me. If that's what he chooses to do, that's on him, not me. If I just choose, and she said, if I choose to step out on my own marriage, guess what? It's on me, it's not on him. We have that understanding. So that's what works for them. Personally, life is what you make of it. Don't take anybody too seriously. If the thing no let you do, get the strength, move on. Life continues. Because nothing when we dey see go last forever. Anyway, even clothes when person dey wear, after some time, when you were 1 year old, can you wear the same clothes now? You can't. Things change. People move on. Probably don't even know where your baby clothes are anymore. So I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna say now we're going to Oga Paul don't enter. Hey, Oga Paul, oh, may I let you give your 2 cents because I won't change. Yeah, I know say the story don't enter, brother Paul.
I I heard about the story a little bit on your view and TVC. So when I
Okay.
was driving home, I stumbled and then I said, you also brought the same story again. I said, wow. But it's the story. It just looked like I'm reading some fiction books, and it just I'm telling you, it just don't look so real, or it's just one-sided story. It's just like they just give us topic for us to do debate in class. Because
Yeah.
9 years, you understand, it's just 1 year short from one full decade. It's hard. Mostly when somebody work with you and every other thing, and the person already give you an hint, and you still don't know anything. It's kind of hard, you know. It's a long time in a man's life, so that's why this thing just get me tired. Like the lady out of emotions, the way we want to talk about our kids, about our loved ones. So my mother would say, "The picking when I born, na me know my picking, na me know what you go fit do." Like saying, my mama give me my first and my second, third girlfriend. You understand? So this is how I see it. So it's just very, very hard for me to comprehend everything around this issue. But I feel for the lady so much. I feel for her because to some women, this marriage thing look like an investment. So suddenly, this investment that you invest carefully, you follow all your financial advisors and every other thing, now turn something like a Ponzi scheme. It's just hard for some people to comprehend, because emotions, some of us don't know how to talk to ourselves. We are trained to talk to people, but we are not really trained to talk to ourselves, to tell our body, to talk to ourselves, to hold ourselves, to control ourselves. We don't know how to do it. So that's why I really I don't I won't tell you lie. I am short of words. Other than just be easy for me to curse. Yeah, that'll be easy for me to curse. But to talk about it completely, it's hard. I won't lie to you. It's really, really hard. It's hard because of the time frame, the everything. God, I don't know how to manage it. It's really, really hard. That's what I'll
Yeah.
say for now.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard, but nothing for life is guaranteed. That's just the truth. And people will be people. People go do wetin they want do at the end of the day. And sometimes people will say, oh, it's because of this, that's why I did this. No, you always had it in mind to do. You just didn't have the opportunity, as they say. So again, like I said, everybody get how they want to run their house. Everybody has an idea of how they want to run their home, whatever works for you. But always remember that nothing lasts forever. Enjoy whatever you have while even life itself does not last forever. So why would you want a thing to last forever? So sometimes it might be, break up. Sometimes it might be the end to a marriage. Sometimes it may be the person passing on to the beyond, right? But that's also some sort of finality on the matter to let us remind us that, look, everything we have here is not going to last forever. So whatever happens in life, you have to be able to manage your expectations emotionally, financially. You have to be okay as a person so that if anything happens, you don't break under it. Most times the reason why our African people know they fit handle this level of betrayal is because they're never emotionally prepared for it. You just cross their hearts and remain there, especially the women. But the men do as they please, without anybody questioning them, without anybody calling them to order. Even when they walk away with everything and leave the woman empty. It's only in very, very rare cases that you find that, okay, the woman is still able to stand. Like in May's case now, she's now become like daughter to everybody. Everybody's supporting her. She's blessed that way, but not everybody has that. So I'm saying, and this is what I'm going to say, and then we're going to move on to the next topic, right? So, Mario shared a video with me. How many of you know about the witch children in Akwa Ibom? Has anybody heard about it? It's a superstition. Oh, the video is very long. I can't play it, so I have to summarize. So basically, they're kids, right? These people have multiple children in this community in Akwa Ibom. Somebody was explaining in the video, like, because they have so many children and some of them can't take care of them, they have this thing of they kind of call out the kids as witches, and they send them and they abandon them, and they do all kinds of things to them. Some of them, they delete them. Some of them, they abuse them. You can imagine all sorts of imaginable things happen to them. So there's this organization that goes to Akwa Ibom and pick up these children and put them in a school, take care of them, feed them, and all of that. This company is based in Germany. I think it's a German company that comes to Akwa Ibom to come and save these children. Please, how do you give birth to a child and call that child a witch? And then sometimes they take them to some prophet houses and they start to pray for them and cast out all kinds of things from them. Most of these kids that were able to survive their atrocities, they're doing very well for themselves. They're healthy children. They're very brilliant. So I don't know, make it make sense for me. This is in Akwa Ibom that they do this. So when I don't hear this story before, Marriott, where are you? If the children are not safe in a society, I don't know, where would they be safe? Then why would you have children that you cannot take care of? This community does not believe in birth control, so they can have as many children that they are not able to take care of because they hardly work. It's a very, very heart-wrenching story. I tried not to. I watched the documentary, but I couldn't. There's some parts I had to skip because my heart could not take it. But our children are in trouble in some parts in Nigeria, I have to say, shamefully. And whatever we can, right? Maybe I just posted now. If you've seen the social media posts of an Oyibo woman, yeah, is anybody has seen that lady that had tattoos that rescued a boy years ago in Akwa Ibom that they threw out and called him a witch? He's very healthy now. He's in school. He's handsome. He's doing very well. So why do people hold on to this type of superstitious beliefs in places like Akwa Ibom? Please, any Akwa Ibom person in the house, if you know anything about it, Biko, Can you educate us? This is very deep. This is very sad, though. It's heartbreaking that children are going through these unimaginable things. Eh? And we are here. How many fights we won't fight for that country, for crying out loud? Eh? If to I don't get it. Where person you go born, now you born pikin, nobody send you message. It's you that went to do, had the children, but you can't take care of them, and then you now cast them out. As some of them that have now that have done well, they've taken care of, they take them back to the family, the same families that rejected them and called them witches, right? When they take them back to those families, then the one lady, particular lady, she was saying that she hopes that her child can forgive her, that she didn't know better, it was ignorance, blah blah blah. Her own story was that she married the boy's father. The boy's mother passed away, so she married the boy's father. And she came with her own, I think she had her own children, so she decided to demonize the boy just so that her children will I don't know. Bimpe, you say you remember the organization. You remember the story, right? He was two, yeah. He was like skeleton. And when they found him, yeah, his name is Hope. Exactly. You really remember the story. Spiritual issues are much rarer than Nigerians want to make it. Why do we continue to believe in superstitions? Why are we anti-intellectual? My sister, I don't know. That's $1 million question. When I know the answer. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't understand it. There was a Jamaican mother who shot her 28-year-old son, who what has his own children, all because he was too tired to go to. Oh my goodness. Mm, wow. All these scammer religious people manipulate. Yes, so that's what they do. So they will convince there was one they took to church, and that one, thankfully, they say no, there's nothing wrong with him. Eh? They'll be proclaiming, we need to really know what we are doing this election season. You see why I'm fighting every day, why people are on social media screaming from the top of their lungs. I wake up every day and night. Eh? Nigerian news. I cannot remember the last time I tuned into Nigerian news. I never listened to Nigerian news for the first time in my life because of Peter Obi. We have no choice in this matter. We literally have no choice. If now only the evil when they go on in that society now, because of the kind evil demonic government when we get, if anything, I make if judgment won't come, it go everybody, there will be nobody left. Because this complacency that Nigerians have, I don't get it. I don't get some people who are still sitting there and wanting an old man in diapers to come and rule. They are very happy carrying it on top of their head. It does not make any sense to me. We are very quick to demonize things we don't understand. Instead of you to try and understand, I understand there's a place for prayer, there's whatever it is you believe in. But please, can the children be spared in all of this? Can they be spared and given the opportunity? Why have children? Why? Even the health professionals don't talk about. They don't talk about autism, ADHD. They too will carry the child to church and be exactly. Yeah, educated. And I hear you, Marriott. It's true. I couldn't even that video. I was skipping because my heart just they jump with because anything that has to do with children, I can't. There's some information about children I cannot just listen to. It aggravates my spirit, so I don't. In order to protect myself, I just skipped some parts of the video. I'm telling you, how can a 2-year-old child be rendered homeless in the commune? Nobody took the boy in. I'm telling you, it was a very painful sight to see. I mean, when I saw that, but I followed his story and I saw him looking healthy and handsome. I was like, oh my God, see child when they abandon. I think he couldn't hear in one ear. He got deaf in one ear because of all that. And they had to buy him hearing aid. I think I remember that. I'm telling you, So DW, that's what it's called. It's a German company that goes to Akwa Ibom to go and pick up these children and put them in a place where they can be taken care of. We'll say Oyibo no good, Oyibo no good. Not be then they do this one now. Not be then they do this. Not be then because they protect their neighbor pass you and pass all our people when they Nigeria. Eh? The religious industrial complex is really killing us. Peter Obi needs to look into it, and we need to start to put things in place. All these churches all over, they need to shut a lot of them down and turn them to factories. I'm telling you, everybody should go and be following their religion inside their bedroom, because this is too much. They've taken advantage of people. I'm telling you, Debs, it's heartbreaking. They have children because they have access to exactly, even I think in the video, maybe I didn't hear correctly, the guy was saying they don't even believe in it. I don't think it's a question of access. It's the fact that they don't even believe in contraception. So even if you give them, they won't even take it. No, I beg. We need to do better. It has to be Peter Obi or nobody. That's the only person I see that will even come and even lay foundations for somebody to build on. All those Mikano and Agbado, forget them. They don't exist. They do not. We have to get it right as if we don't, we are forever. Forget your ancient homes. Just forget it. If that's what we want, oh well, okay. Because it's sad. Yeah, it will. Don't look, my dear sister, it will hurt your heart. Because even me, when I was watching it, I was like, yeah, Mary or two. So I was jumping, skipping, listening. I'm like, no. People are looking for children, it doesn't make any sense. With learning and speaking difficulty, yeah. I'm telling you. He has a lot of things in place. So he has said a lot. My sister Marriott, you go need to find Peter Obi video watch. Biko, you go need to find out what the man don't expatiate on. He don't answer many, many, many questions. He himself is aware. He said that the children and the women, they suffer past. He knows that. He's mentioned it in most of his speeches a lot of times. It's like he wants to fix that, So he has speeches on that. If you have the time, you can just, do a YouTube search of it. You will hear his speeches on it. He takes it very seriously. He knows the pain. He sees it. I'm telling you, we need to do something about it. We cannot continue like this. It's not self-sustaining anymore. We got to do right. We have to do right. It doesn't make sense that children will be suffering as a result of people's ignorance. Then why have children at all? It's very, very heartbreaking. No matter what you want to do, leave the children out of it. Do your nonsense. But the children must be protected at all costs. Children not going to be anything anymore. You start to hear people doing all sorts of things to children, and you're beginning to wonder, what kind of world am I in? That there's no yard. You can't even say, no, this line, I will never cross it. Kilo day. I beg go. Very honestly. And you just wonder. And some of these leaders, they intentionally keep it that way. They intentionally keep it. They don't want people to know better. So they are okay. So that when they give them trickles, they will just be running after them. Yeah, I know they have autistic awareness in Nigeria. I know about that. There was a lady that set up something. I can't remember her name now. Then she was, creating awareness about autism, ADHD at that time. I remember, you know. So there's people who are aware, but it hasn't spread wide enough. There's still so much work to do because of the bottlenecks. You can't travel on the roads right now. You can't. It's not safe anywhere. This is the problem. Eh? I'm telling you, I don't know who do us. So I'm telling you, we really need to wake the hell up. Everybody, every Nigerian hand, your hand dey this table. This work is not just for one person. I beg you now. Everybody needs to be involved. There's a lot of education, there's a lot of unlearning that needs to happen. If we don't help those of us that have sense, if we don't help, who will help us? Who? Hey, I beg go. We got to change. We need to start working. We have to start going to all those remote places to educate people. We have educated Nigerians everywhere. When Peter Obi comes and everywhere pepper rests, there's no problem of you getting deleted for no reason. Then you can travel wherever you want to travel and start to put these things in place, because it is madness to me. Oh, my sisters, my people, make we on that note, Marriott, make we go back to that the story when we did talk about. I don't want to bring everybody's mood down, because when I say I just dampen and I just brought up this topic, everybody just quiet. So let's go back and address this, relationship issue further. But we're going to talk about it again at some point. I think we're going to keep bringing it up for the sake of the children, because there's nobody speaking for these people. And you have German companies going in and taking care of our own brothers and sisters in our neck of the wood. Please make it make sense. It shouldn't be happening. We need to do better. We need to do better. Eh? My people. Cynthia has gone. Sorry, Cynthia. I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you so much for your contributions. I love you and I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the day. I know it's good morning over there. Thank you. Yeah, so no, the Judy story, Marriott, Judy story now say she don't get belle again. Number 2 is on the way. Is on the way. Oh, yeah. All right then. Thank you very much. Enjoy. Break a leg at your meeting if you're hosting the meeting. I don't know, but enjoy it regardless. Thank you very much. Yeah. So yes, Judy is having a second baby for you, and but Paul, what's your take on that? To be honest, I don't know if you heard about it. Judy is expecting a second child.
Yeah, well, it's just kind of rumor, so we don't really know for now. But it may just be true, and it is funny, it is stupid, it is everything. You understand? But what do you expect if they've got married legally? Then what do you expect husband and wife to do? They can plan not to have baby, and equally plan to say, "Oh, we've come of age, so we want to have this baby fast, and then but that thing." So it's not about Judith in this case now. It's about a male, you understand, to take that steps and everything. Because if May didn't take that action, the action we are expecting her to take initially, people might say, okay, maybe because of her bad character that made the man out. But the man have proven that he is the stupid person. So if there's another pregnancy, it is time. I don't think we need to advise May again. We're supposed to wait for May to break the news. Not we help May to break the news. That's how I see it for now. We don't need to advise May what to do. The first one, they might twist it that it's a bad character. That's why she stayed there, prove to herself that, prove to the whole world because of the way we reason. You understand? But with this one, come on now. I said she just like to be that senior wife. What do they do for Yoruba and Yoruba people say senior wife. Maybe she like the to wear that feather or the cap or the hat. I don't know the one that we call it. Say maybe senior wife, maybe first wife, maybe first born this one. Except so, other than that, I cannot comprehend it. If Judy is pregnant, which means they have very good relationship. Well, Judy is legally married to you. So what do you expect before?
That's so true. I keep forgetting that part.
Exactly. We just happen to be like we call ourselves online in-law to only men. so, so naturally, we will take sides for our own. That's just the thing. You understand? But if May choose to take all of us rough ground, come on, it's not Judy's fault. I think it's May's fault.
Mm.
That's how I want to see it now. Yeah.
Okay,
Because,
well,
yeah.
that's true. You're right. It's allegedly that she, but there was a video that they made and where they saw her coming out of the hospital. It was a for prenatal classes or something like that. So the rumors are getting
Um,
stronger.
Oh my, yeah, I just want to, I'm just sounding like let's say, let somebody try to balance it. I cannot tell you like I believe the thing because Judy will also believe that she will use this thing to win the whole thing.
Yes,
Because so
yes,
it may be completely calculative attempt for Judy. You
yes,
understand? So
yes,
I'm not saying this thing will not happen. I strongly believe Judy will use this
yeah.
thing to get stand if she truly. And from the years that Judy has been making comments, doing everything with this guy, Judy really liked the guy. You understand? And the guy
Mm-hmm.
proved even from online to us that milk. Oh my, yeah, you know, so now one I don't take well for abroad, and I don't know pick milk where they call Holland. We value our past pick milk Nigeria. Judith for you now Holland. You know, say man we like high voltage. If you see
Uh,
high voltage, you go to shock them they go. You don't want this small one way they zap them. You want the one way go shock them.
yeah.
You know, that's how I see it. You know, so Judy really like him. You understand, even if he caused her to be a very stupid person, and I believe that she may want to do anything that she want to do, and indirectly the way your talks online and everything, it shows that you're still going back to say, Judy, you know, since I did your side, you know, since I did your side. So
It
there's
not even
something
be.
there.
It's obvious. It is obvious. He makes it
Yeah,
obvious. There's no
the
even.
chemistry may be there very well. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? It may be
Yeah,
stupid before public, but when you close the door, the chemistry may be there very well on both sides.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Then may just happen to be my mama that generation, you understand? Like some of
Mm-hmm.
us will say, during my papa time, my father drive brand new car with no AC, no heater. Now the kind of car you want make a drive now for America, for Arizona, no AC.
Marriott,
For this cold, no
Marriott
heater.
say, Marriott say, Yol is responsible for the world reaching 8 billion people. Sperminator.
Oh, we need to give
Marriott,
a blue check mark. We need to give a blue check mark.
I've been a blue check mark as father of many. Oh my goodness. Not
Abraham of
true.
our time.
Abraham of our time, Abi. Hey God. Now God will save people. But again, like for me, personally, the way me take see life not be wetin person they hold too tightly. See, everybody they pray make it work out for am. Wherever situation where you find yourself, you go dey say, make this thing work out for me. But at the end of the day, nothing worth holding too tightly to. Hope for the best. If the thing come decide say you wan turn left, no wahala. As long as you are okay enough to move forward. Because whether we like am or not, one way or the other, nothing is permanent. Even cloth when person dey wear, after some time you go outgrow am. If you come say, I don't want to outgrow it, you go dey lose weight so that you go keep fitting into those clothes. But after some time, e go wear out and e go tire you. You know, so nothing wey person suppose take this seriously for this life. If you carry better mind meet person and you use clean heart follow person, the person decide say e wan wicked you, carry yourself, get the emotional strength and the courage to get up, pack yourself together and move on. Life continues. Life does not stop for anybody, you know. So at the end of the day, you don already show im color tey. And like we were discussing earlier, she's always known. No be today she find out. 9 year, almost a decade relationship. No be mistake. She would have known, but she just kept turning the other side until the thing come meet am for domot. Right now, it's too late to do anything about it. I wish them all the best. No baton. Mirabel, you've been quiet too. What do you have to add to this? And Marriott is asking for you. He say, Mirabel, lovey, where are you? Answer your Marriott too. We can't hear you, Mirabel. Okay, we no fit hear Mirabel. Okay. Maybe May is trying to get her ducks in a row to leave him. She's clearly not in season. Well, possibly, maybe that's what's happening. But hey, now their problem be that everybody gets you. So may they take care of each other. May they make everybody make sure say they're doing all right. At the end of the day, everybody go do okay. Everybody go chop breakfast. As in May needs to take a bold step and pick a side. Well, now she come sabi o, she wan dey there and turn to ìyàwó àgbà àbí how Marriott take talk am, ìyá àgbà àbí ìyàwó àgbà àti kékeré.
Yeah, and make you also remember that era of lying with children, that I'm doing it for my kids. Better borrow yourself, since you are not doing anything for any kids. I don't know whether she's living in face me and face you, that she's still reasoning all those reasons. If we can still argue about Christ today, you understand? Christians, some of us will say Son of God. Muslim will say a messenger. Who be you? They must always talk. They must always talk. People must always do everything. People will definitely talk. You understand? I have my money. People will talk. I don't have my money. It is the sins of my father that makes my family will not get money. I have my money. See, now only that family they get money. Go look all the cousins. None of them get money. You don't know their mama. You don't know where their mama come from. Like say the place where my mama come from, everybody rich for them. You understand? Or everybody poor for where my mother come from. So people will definitely talk. So you should just move on. I feel for that young, beautiful lady. You know, take one action and just stay. Come outside and tell the whole world, say, I love my husband. And we all line in law, we go take our slow, say if it is the will of God, let that will be done.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, but other than that, if you want to go, she is free to go. She is free to go. The beauty of it, she has business here and there right now. So she can even take care of herself.
Yeah, but you know, say na Nigeria we dey talk about, and you know the way women think about marriage in Nigeria. You don't know how many people dey that woman ear as we speak. When they tell her say, "Don't give up your house, don't give up your house, stay, you must stay." You know.
So you want her not to go fight? You
will
remember the
fight,
fight two women fight for men. It's always stupid. Remember the one where you take motor pursue Okada, before take Jeep pursue 504. Wetin happen the other day?
Don't go beyond.
You understand? A whole lawyer. You understand? You can imagine. So you don't want to fight those type of fight that will you even spread your dirty linen in public. You don't even need that. You understand? Don't let people tell you the thing that they cannot do. And even though if this type of thing people do, these things don't make sense in this 21st century. You understand? You know, be native fowl. They don't go carry for village come. And if they carry for village come, 16 years, you never graduate. You know they graduate for this school where they go. Now only test you they write. You don't go write exam. You know go collect certificate.
That's true. You
understand? So it's time for her to move on a little bit. You know, our case is just in the public. And remember, everybody takes side. You understand? And the beauty of it, while we are taking side, the husband is still acting so irrational, so stupid. So everybody really know that she's everybody really know that she's so nice. You understand? Then another part of it again, this same father-in-law, who is very, very outspoken, this say nothing. You understand? So in all ramification, that also send another signal across. Girl, it is your fight. You are the one that will choose your battle. You understand? If you are waiting for somebody to come and fight for you, you won't get it. Because I was even expect the dad to come outside because the dad has been saying something about that. You understand? This very, very outspoken person, this well-respected person, but he just mute technically. You understand? So we don't know where it's coming from, but what we know is that he didn't do a really good job. He didn't really do good job. You understand? He didn't really do good job. I understand. He didn't do good job. So if May is letting everybody make mess of her in public, then when they close the door, they'll say, no verse, no carry your matter, go public. My sister, you are already a public person.
Okay.
You
Well, Deb
understand?
say
Continue where Patient Jonathan talk. You know how many
as
young
well.
boys from Nigeria they take and make money till today for skill.
I know.
Continue. You
Deb
understand?
say
Because they are public people.
Deb say, man, this question for you. Say Deb say, is there a point in marriage except the children? Is there a point? That's a good question. With everything that's happening that we're seeing, that's a very valid question to be asking. Oh. Welcome, Bimpe. Welcome on board.
Hello.
Hello,
Evening.
Good evening. Good to
I
hear
know.
you.
I'm fine, my sister. You know, I've not been consistent. It's not easy because sometimes when I see the
Notification.
yeah, the notification to join is like 10 p.m. Like, honestly,
I
and
know.
weekend too. I'm in between something or I want to
Yeah.
join, but I get carried away. But anyway, this night that I saw the notification, I said, I know I'm just gonna join because I listened to the one you did yesterday. I had
Okay.
chance to do that this morning. I said, this is very interesting conversation. And you said you're gonna do part two. I said, no, I will join tonight. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm happy to be here. I've been learning a lot. I greet everybody,
Thank you.
everybody in the
Greetings.
studio, our uncle in the studio too. I did
Abby.
hello. Hmm.
Brother Paulo.
Brother
We are
Paul,
hailing you.
yeah. Hello.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. You see, this me before we answer the question, that person asked, this
Mm-hmm.
story of May and Yul and Judy. I've already, you know what? Because at the end of the day, I see May, and I have a lot of respect for her because when the whole issue happened, the way she comported herself. If it's some women, they will, the way the man, dragged, disrespected her. Because to me, that's a disrespect. The way he disrespected her online, she would have, gone the same route, but she showed that she's not that kind of person. However, it makes me think like, the kind of personality that she has. Maybe she's somebody that have just, very complacent, and she has
Mm,
taken a lot of disrespect from this
mm,
man.
right.
And that bothers me as a woman. It bothers me.
Yes.
I'm not in her situation. She's one that will, decide whatever she wants for herself. And as a woman, being a mother, she has a daughter. Because that's another, because this is where me I'm always looking at, I always look at marriage in its totality, which means if I look at the husband, the wife, and if they have children, I will look at especially the children.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe when you're in a relationship or you're in a marriage that you have children, things a lot of things need to be handled differently. First of all, in the aspect of you, I don't even have any respect for that man. I don't even have any regard for him.
At all. He's
I
lost
don't have any
all
regard.
respect.
I don't even know. First of all, I'm not even his fan. I don't
Mm-mm,
follow him. I
never
don't watch
been.
his movies.
I didn't know him until this, so I did not know he existed.
Actually, the funny thing, I know that he existed, but it's like maybe once one movie. I don't even remember which movie that he has. Maybe long time ago, maybe when I was in Nigeria. But I know there is a son of Peter Edochie called Yul Edochie, but it's not that frequent in movies that I watch, so I don't see him until this whole drama of having another wife and having this side chick that become wife, somebody's wife for that matter. So I don't even have any regard for this man. you know. But I'm also looking at May, like for this man to be able to come online and announce. As a matter of fact, you also find out online that you have a second wife or your husband have a second wife. It shows me the kind of relationship that they have and all the things that she has stomached from this man. Because I'm sure Judy is not the only side chick that he has. It's just that it's Judy that said now she turned to marry you. Say yeah, where are they? I know go come out. She's the one that turned to marry you on you's neck. She's not the only one, before she becomes second wife. So for me, that's and another thing is when she did her birthday and the man came to crash the birthday and came on stage, and I was like, this man doesn't respect this woman at all. It was later that we heard that he had to fight with the security people to come into the event. So I was just thinking that, I mean, what, like, as a woman, I'm thinking, May, I mean, I feel like she's too.
She's
And I
too
know
complacent.
exactly. I
She's
know
almost
she has
like
different personality, but
oblivious
come
of
on now.
things going on around. Like she just like, let me just leave. I don't weak. Like
And she's
for lack
not
of
weak.
better words.
Yeah. Maybe she thinks, oh, because we all know Nigerian women's story when it comes to marriage. God will help us. It's
Yes,
some of
so
us that we have just become strong. we have broken ourselves from that mentality. That marriage is all and all. If you are not
yeah,
married or you don't maintain your marriage, you
you
have
are
not
not
done
complete.
anything.
Mhm.
It's some of us that have break out of that that mental
Mentality.
condition exactly, because it took a lot for me to get there too. But I feel bad for her because I just feel like she's too. Because for somebody like you, she's like a woman that is being abused that you're advising to leave. She will not.
Yeah.
That's the kind of person that May is. Sorry. She will
Mm-hmm.
be until she comes to that realization. And I don't even think she will come to that realization because at this point now, she's making money, she's doing well. Her kids are in school, they are doing well. I don't think she's going to do anything. She'll just be watching them. And she has been watching them for the past how many years before they got married. She'll just be watching them. So that's why I'm just like, you know what, I'm tired of this story. We all of us that we are having headache. We are having headache over somebody's matter. Exactly, because it seems she's not budging. She'll just come out and say, oh, thank you very much for the support and everything. And that's all. I mean, I'm not trying to be condescending to her, but that's just the way I'm saying it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, at the point, say, Auntie B was like, when she wanted to do update about, I think it was the birthday, I say, you know what, Auntie B, yeah, I'm tired of this conversation. Let us leave May to make her decision. And people was like, we have to keep talking about it to bring awareness to Nigerian women. I said, okay. She did the show and people call and call. Me, I was just watching everybody's comments and I was just reading because I was like, this woman is not going to leave. If you like, let us talk till our face turn blue. She will not leave that marriage. She's not going anywhere and she will not leave that house. And
And
yeah,
Omoye, sorry, Binky.
yeah.
And you know one funny thing, narcissistic men,
Mm-hmm.
the mistake many of us make, some of these people get sometimes, is that these men, they are not 24 hours narcissistic people.
No.
They can just be like that for 1 hour, that it will ruin your life for 10 years. You understand? After that, the next minute, they're going to be nice. They're going to buy you gifts. They're going to
That's
use the
what they do
right
now.
word. They're going to do everything. You understand? So it's time for her to grow. But I believe that the thing that she will be reading, if she's coming online, she must have heard more. People must have talked to her. More mature people must have talked to her, must have recommended books, different thing for her. Maybe some people must have even tell her that right now I'm paying for therapy for you. Maybe she must have even gone through
It's
therapy
possible.
and the
It's
like.
possible.
You understand? So
Yeah.
let's just put it this way. If this is what you want to do,
I
I
guess
beg,
just
make it
let her
just
be.
leave us this year in law we will be. because this our in-law now don't they become when you are money more than the belief. Let me
Yeah,
say you
I
get hand for
tire
the
of my
debt.
brother.
You
I'm
get hand for
tired.
the fight. you, you know,
I'm
you
tired.
you
I'm
get
like,
hand
let's
this
just
side.
leave her. Let her
You know,
be. If she doesn't want to go, let her not go. Everybody will not do what you think. Let her just
Exactly.
leave her. Let her be. If you want to stay there, it's her choice. You know.
If she wants to buy there, let her buy
Let
because
her buy there. If she's okay with
because
them having multiple babies while she's still there and she's still married to him, which I think is sad because she's still very beautiful. She can
yeah.
still find love.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I did be one man with time, one useless a man that is not even that doesn't even respect me will tie me down. Ha, God forbid. So I mean, but it's
Exactly.
a decision anyway. So
Yeah,
people are
exactly.
different. That's
People are
basically it.
exactly. So it's very hard. I mean, for going, you can't advise, especially Nigerian marriages, and I'm
Especially a
sorry,
Nigerian woman
they are
in
very
Nigeria.
difficult
Oh,
to advise and they will
hmm,
take it. It's
hmm,
when they are ready and they
they
have
will
not
leave.
grown out of that mentality
Mm-hmm,
until they've done the work, which is a very
mm-hmm,
lonely road to walk and
mm-hmm.
sometimes can be painful. But
Yeah,
sorry, until they've done the work, there's nothing anybody can
there's
do.
nothing.
As you see that woman, she's probably just cruising. She's like, I'll
Uh-uh.
just
She's
manage it
getting
like
this,
that.
making money. She's
Eh,
getting this and making money now. So what else does she need? And her kids are doing well.
exactly.
They are in school. They've grown.
Exactly.
So
The only thing she has left is that small kid. That's all.
the one that is
That's
here, the small boy. I
yeah,
think that's the last born that she had for him.
exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
my sister.
ah,
She'll be
so
fine. She'll be fine.
she'll be fine. She will
Mm.
be fine. When she's ready, she will
When
make up
she's
her
ready,
mind.
she will leave. But she's not. If we like, make we talk from today till tomorrow. Someone that you are in a relationship with a man and he's cheating, like you said, she will never. She cannot come and tell all of us online that she doesn't know that her husband and you are having an affair. She said she cannot
Ex-
say that.
exactly. You
Ah,
know what I mean? So
she
it's
cannot
very
tell us
difficult.
that.
She can't. There's no way.
ah,
From day one, I have been standing by it. There's no way she did not know. Come on, we're human beings. We're
Uh-uh.
energy.
Yeah.
When you're with someone, even girls' hostel, maybe you're a roommate with a
Mm-hmm.
girl, you will know when she's not all right. You will know
Mm-hmm.
when something is wrong. When she's coming in and her mood changes, you can tell. That's
Yeah.
somebody you lived with a while in the hostel. Not talk of marriage. There's
Mm-hmm.
no way you
There's
would
no
not
way
have
now.
known.
There's no
She
way.
just thought that, oh, she was managing it. They were both managing
Mm-hmm.
it, however
Mm-hmm.
way,
Yeah.
outside of the public eye. Welcome for real, for
Hmm.
real.
Hello.
How
Hi.
you doing? Oh my Esther.
Hi.
Hello. Mm-hmm.
Yes, your
Yeah,
first time calling in, huh?
yeah. I
Oh,
I knew you from Auntie B's show.
okay, yeah. Man, we met you, Bodo Farm. Thank you for
Yeah,
calling in. I appreciate you.
you're,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
So let
I
us
just wanted
on this
to
Obonge matter. Go
uh,
ahead.
yeah, I'm not trying to be the devil's advocate here, but I'm just trying to say something from another perspective.
Okay.
I want us to have put that too in mind that an average Nigerian that has been in Nigeria, that has stayed in Nigeria all their life, they are really naive, especially when it comes to the women and marriage. Also, I'm not like saying you people are wrong or supporting me, but I'm trying to me. I've stayed in Nigeria before moving to the United States. The issue with marriage is something else in Nigeria. If you are not married, and is horrible. Then when you get married and get divorced, is people look down on you. So, like
Right.
in the United States, yeah, if you get divorced, you can easily get into another relationship. It's not so in Nigeria.
I know that,
Because most
I
men
also,
self that are even
yeah. I have
yeah.
lived in Nigeria. I mean, I wasn't born here, for instance, right? So I grew up in Nigeria. I saw marriage, right? I saw marriages. I came here in my early 20s, but I saw marriages
Okay.
growing up because I had the opportunity to live with people, my parents, of course, number one example, relatives. You just have married people around you, right? From when I was in Nigeria looking as an outsider looking in, I knew that I never wanted anything that looked like that because
Mm-hmm.
most of them were suffering in the marriage and
Yeah.
smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the women didn't have a voice. Me, my own mouth is sharp. From when they born me with sharp mouths, so I knew that would be a no for me. Yeah, it's true. I knew that would be a no. Even when my
Mm-hmm.
parents would have fights, my mom and dad would be quarreling. When my mom is talking, when they were talking, I'll say, "Mom, just leave this man. Yeah, I won't take this rubbish that he's doing to you." She will smile at me and say, "You don't understand." Now when I remind her, I'm like, "Mommy, should you used to tell me then I don't understand. What is it I did not understand? That this man was that particular incident that happened." So I understand the mindset. I understand exactly what goes through a Nigerian woman's mind, especially when it comes to marriage. I have a
Mm-hmm.
friend who was married, a Nigerian girl, married. That girl, when she and the man came to America, the girl, she had this by attitude.
Mm.
When the man
Mm.
maltreated her to the point she was under high stress. She was chewing off literally the skin around her fingers. When
Mm.
you look at her 5 fingers, they were like
Mm.
skeletons because she had chewed it down so
Mm.
much. She wasn't even feeling the pain. The thing will be bleeding. She'll still be
Mm.
chewing on it.
Uh-uh.
That's how
Why?
much that's how much stress that man put her through. The
Yeah.
man will bring women into the house,
Mm.
have her sleep in the guest house. He go dey lay am out with another woman for their matrimonial bedroom. I have seen the worst of Nigerian marriages, my sister. This girl, we were not telling her, look, it is your life now. You gotta
Mm-hmm.
leave. This man doesn't care about you. Guess what? She cut us off. She told us to our faces that she's married and she's married. She's not going to leave it. People should leave her alone, that she's ready to buy dear.
Mm.
Do you understand? So it is a mentality that people don't grow out of, those that don't want to. I
Mm-hmm.
understand it's a mentality, but in order for you to get out of it, I lived in Nigeria. I had um certain levels of mentalities, way of thinking that I came with now. It was a lonely
Yeah.
road to undo those things. It was not easy. It's not a walk by the park. I'm going to tell you for free because it's
Mm-hmm.
something you've been doing
Yeah,
over and
so,
over that you see,
mm.
you're used to it. So it will take a certain mindset for you to, it's like growing new skin, it's like shedding your old and growing new one. It is painful, but a lot of
Mhm.
Nigerian women don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Another
Even
thing
when you're
too, it's
pointing it
sorry to
out.
cut you.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
go ahead.
another thing
Sorry.
too is poverty. You know, an average woman depends on a man for like, I mean, there was a lady the other day that was in a TV show that said she prayed that every blessing that God has for her, she give it to the husband. So, I thought from
Mm.
the beginning, from when I was young, I told my mom, my parents, I said, me, I like my own. I want to have my own. I love independence. I like to have my own money. I don't want someone controlling that part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But all my friends around me, they say, now my husband money I want chop, now my money I want chop. So
Yes, I've heard that.
and that, yeah, and that come, and also when you go to the job places, except now that okay, it's changing a little bit. I mean, before a woman will be able to get a good job, the men want to sleep with them. So
That's true.
there's this culture that is so against women in Nigeria,
Yes.
and naturally the truth is that women are weak. That's the truth. There's so much, not like weak
Physically,
spiritually or
you
mentally,
mean?
but physically we're
Mm-hmm.
weak. So and that thing too has a way of putting another kind of fear in women that they cannot be alone. You know, so unlike here in the United States, if as a lady you have the same opportunity as a man. If you are good at what you do, you can get to any level you want to. There's the government, there are different incentives, that works for you as a lady in this part of the world. I mean, even if
Yeah,
you want to get into another relationship, it is even easy. You see a lot
yeah.
of men that would desire you, but it's not so. In a Nigerian woman, if their husband die, they will not even have sex again in their life. They're not gonna see man. Well, I'm t- I hope, I'm sorry I used
For
that word,
real.
but
For
they will
real.
not be
No,
able
no.
to. Yeah.
No,
Mm-hmm.
no. But for real, everything when you dey talk makes 100% sense. I have seen
Mm-hmm.
it and I know for a fact it happens in Nigeria. I not fit, I disagree with you. Everything when you they talk on point, we know. Not only who never grow for Nigeria, and I go talk so okay, you know waiting they ground they occur. We know say na patriarchal society.
Yeah.
We know all these things, say these things they go. We know say yes, sometimes the fear of where waiting I go do, I will now be on my own. That fear of being alone, it dey. But guess
Yes.
what though? Even within that same society, I also see women when they waka comot for their husband's house when they dey successful on their own. They started doing it on their own.
Yes.
And they married again with all the patriarchy, with all the bottlenecks, with all the what's it called, the wall in front of them. They break through the wall, still run the thing themselves. Why am I saying this? It takes a mindset. Here's the problem with the typical Nigerian married woman. The typical Nigerian married woman, they don't drum am into a head. Now husband house, na benefit, na dear, it's a school, it's the only place, so right? You have that in your head. So you're doing everything possible to make this thing work. But the man is going against everything you're trying to do. So the woman, because she don't cover her emotion, cover her eye, she go say, hey, kukuma is better to buy there than to leave. It is like a prison that they've put themselves in. So
and it's
we
mentally, it's mental
and it's a
prison. That's
mental
the
free
most difficult one
prison.
to break from.
Because even if you say, okay, the issue of no work, no that, there are people who, without any work, I know somebody, a friend of mine, her mom sold akara to put them through school. Now the same school we go. Today, she and her sister, they are here in America. Akara. So my point is this: until you decide, even me, when I be younger, growing up in Nigeria at that time, right? I not be picking when you feel talk to say you're quiet down, you don't have any opinion. With the patriarchy, they follow the dragon that time as a small. So I know that we're different people. My point is this: it is possible for people to change their way of thinking, even while they are in the situation they're in. But because a lot of these women, either they're enjoying the money the man is giving them, a very wealthy man he marry, even though the man not to they give her money like that, but he go rather they for the name, for the position, for the influence. Exactly. So in as much as yes, we know the difficulty and the restraint, but it's also doable. And now you when they oppress, now you go break yourself out of the oppression. Not be the person when they oppress you. The person when they oppress you, they enjoy them. Example now like slavery. Slavery it's a very good example here. It took the people that were oppressed to say, Mbano, we push back on this. We are human beings too. So as a woman, you feel oppressed. You are the one who will push back. I remember one time I was arguing with a guy in Nigeria a long time ago. We're arguing and we're arguing about something in class. And then the guy started raising his voice. So me, I was quiet. I was looking at him. He was raising his voice and he was talking. You know how in Nigeria, some of these boys don't care whether you're
An average Nigerian man, they're very oppressive by nature.
Oppressive.
I dislike them,
you want to rush me, you want to beat me, something like that. The guy just they talk. He was walking towards me. I just look the guy. The guy they talk, they pump, fire, they come off for his head, the ear. They see him. I just sit down. I just they look him. They look him as they come close, right? He came close to me. Where the strength come from, I don't know. I stood up in class. Now, if you see the way I take push the boy, now one hand I use, the boy go land for the end of class. Do you understand? When the guy land, all the guys come start to the laugh and say, woman beat her, this one, that one. Right? The guy got up, he could not charge at me again. He get where you go push person reach. If the person not push back, then whatever that person do to you, you not get mouth to talk again because it go don't break you at that point. You understand? It's just human nature. The problem is sometimes women for Nigeria, they don't understand say human nature they play. You get where you go push woman, push human being, even small pikin baby. You get where you go carry baby, you dey carry am, the way you not like. The baby go dey cry, go dey turn im body, go dey cry. You get where you go do am, the baby go pinch you, or he go hold you, go use a fingernail take pinch you, or he go dey use him hand, the small hand take dey push you. My problem be say as women, we no wan outgrow, we no wan grow emotionally.
You just want to stay in
another
that
thing I
place of
see.
our comfort. Go ahead.
Another thing I see too is still this on an average Nigerian, we like to cover up. You know, an average Nigerian, married or not, we like pretense a lot. So it's still that, you know, something they will call generator name, I better pass my neighbor. That is not the name of the small generator, but just to prove. So that nature of hypocrisy is in an average Nigerian person. So they go prefer to day one place. Maybe they just get that ring. Yeah, I don't marry to take pepper another person. To despise you. Like I remember my mom was like my mom was saying, get married. What do people go talk if you're not married? I said, sure. So I should marry because of what people will say. Then if I don't, like not giving concern whether I like the person or not, I should just marry because of what people will say. I told her I cannot do that. I cannot get married because to anybody just to show face or, you know, to please you. You know, and the Nigerians, they do that a lot. They don't even know the purpose of marriage. They don't know why they are getting into that marriage. If you ask an average Nigerian woman that is married, they don't like. They just they go just say they are married because people are getting married.
Exactly.
And that is another issue too. You know, the knowledge of marriage is not there. The person you're getting married to, you don't even know who that person is. You don't even know who yourself is. You know, and you don't. So there are so many things. So so the issue of hypocrisy is there, to pretend to. Like I give an example of the I better pass my neighbor generator. You don't have money, but at least you have little to just buy a little generator just to show to outsiders that at least you're doing okay. You know, so that's an average Nigerian person. Then another thing too is our pastors in Nigeria. You don't go Nigerian church before. Every program they go say all single ladies come out, like prayer point. If you only going to church alone is very depressing for a single lady in Nigeria. Every Sunday, since I come America, I don't go plenty churches. I never see where they announce say single lady, if you want to get married, come out, let's pray for you.
Only Nigerian churches, now they do that one. Only Nigerian churches. And people they make money from them.
But
from
they
Nigeria.
do for America. Now, Pastor Beyonce, all the singles lady, all the single lady. Pastor Beyonce.
I bet that one on music, it not be like that. So if you go their churches, it not be like that.
That's why I say for America that Pastor Beyonce.
Beyonce.
I know all the single ladies.
No, I think there's a sense. Here's the thing. The problem be say, and Mario just nail her. The prison door is open to Nigerian women, but they don't want to come out. That is a fact. The oppressor.
That's powerful. That's
the fear of the unknown.
The oppressor will never let you go.
Nope.
You have to tell the oppressor that his time is up. Otherwise, he will keep oppressing you. You see, with all this one we did talk, you know, some people get sweet marriage from Nigeria. There are people that have good marriages in the same Nigeria that is patriarchal. Exactly. How are they doing it? I have a cousin who her husband know they take her play. If she cough like only cough, the man go they run from where he did. Do you understand what I'm saying? The level of respect that man has for his family. Everybody knows. Do you understand? Why am I saying this? She could easily have become maybe one of those people who will just accept anything that a man throws at her. You have to now you go teach people how to treat you.
Yes,
if you're a man is coming to you and you're making him feel like, oh, he's doing you a favor by being with you, he will never have respect for you. In his mind, you've already given him power. He will treat you however way he wants, and he will dispose of you when he's done. It's just that simple. But if the man say, oh, forget that thing. No, this girl, if I do anyhow, I go see anyhow. He go behave
collect.
himself. But Nigerian women are very, very docile when it comes to men.
Yeah, they are.
We're not saying don't
Very.
fall in love. Please fall in love as many times as you want. It's a beautiful thing. But can you also let the man know that you are not for play? That if he plays with
Mm-hmm.
you, he will play with fire?
Yeah, out.
Set boundaries with these people, for crying out loud. Nigerian women do not set boundaries. They keep giving them advice. Whatever the
At
man
all.
does, he's the man.
He's
Just
the
take
man.
it.
Yes,
Bull
accept
crap.
it.
Is he not a human being? Does he not have blood flowing in his veins? He should use needle to prick himself first and see if it pains or if it hurts before he does it to me. If I do the same thing to him, will he like it? That's the question. So until women start to take their place and recognize that they are not a doormat, right? And they are not a tool to be used and disposed of at any time, I guarantee you, Nigerian men go buck up. Until then,
You are very right, because these Nigerian men, they marry white women or American black women.
Yeah,
They be like ice
you don't
water.
understand that.
My uncle for year, if you see the way white wife they shot for him, I looked him out 2 times. I said, Jesus, he's my father's age mate. If you see the way his wife shouts at him and deals with him, but he cannot say one word. But this kind person go marry a Nigerian woman, go they beat him.
Oh,
So
exactly.
it's we women that are caught, it's the Nigerian women that are making their husbands, that are allowing their husbands to be the way they are.
Of
You know,
course,
if
now
like
they
when I
give
was
the
dating somebody,
leeway.
my rule is like my rule is
Exactly.
if you cheat on me once, that's the end of the marriage safe. Not even relationship, marriage. It's so in any relation, any relationship I end, I said that I don't take cheating is a no. If you watch, if you watch it, people that stand on principles and they tell you this is one thing they don't like, men tend to respect those people. But Nigerian women, they don't. I don't know if it is they don't know who they are, or is fear, or is upbringing.
All of the above. It's fear, it's upbringing. They don't know who they are. Most of them don't find themselves. They've not found themselves. They're afraid to find themselves because they feel so they want to be less than. They always want to be less than because they want the man to find them attractive in their own head, scamming. They don't tell them, say, oh, keep yourself like this. So before, if you are too high, the man will not look at you. Lori raw. Meanwhile, the same man go see Oyibo woman when he be high, when he be oga for office, he go marry and no blink twice. So here's the thing: if you don't set the standards, no, person go come, you go come crap all over your head. You go waka comot. May your talker now. They say they only call women waiting for the fruit of the womb. Why they not they call men? Because men they get fertility issues too. Why they not they call them? So it's okay, let's pray for the men. No, they won't. Women, every problem now women. Until Nigerian women stand up. Until they stand up.
Anytime I hear pastors they talk of women, and they hate, as in I know they listen, because everything they just have to say women. Why women have issue? When I know they talk to men, make men learn how to love women. Because that is even what the Bible said. That the scripture said, husband, love your wife just as Christ loved the church. If you can define the way Christ loved church, you will never be angry at your wife. If you want to go by the biblical principles, but all these pastors, they not go preach more. Now let's submit. No say submission.
Yes,
make the country be the way it be so.
That's why they hop on that particular scripture to subdue. This is why I have a problem with the Bible. I'm serious. I question the scripts of the Bible. You know why? It's very patriarchal. Very little is told about the woman. I personally am one of those who believe that God is a woman. I personally am one of those people. I believe that God is a woman. He created all things. Who creates on this earth? Is it not the woman? Who gives birth to life? Is it not the woman? So for me, and I'm not trying to impose my thoughts or my critical thinking on anybody, I'm just saying, we don't allow ourselves to question things, first of all.
Come on, yeah, you are sending me now to Egypt. I'm going to Egypt, to Turkey and Greece. More research.
No, but but it's true. We don't question anything. I'm not saying don't read it. I've read the Bible back and front. I know everything that's in the Bible. I can't quote it verbatim. I can remember, right? but I know I've read the Bible before. But when I look at it, there's so many scriptures that have been taken out of the Bible. For instance, when I was growing up in the Catholic Church, we used to have the book of Maccabees.
Enoch.
Is in the Bible. There are other books that are in the Bible that I saw as a child. Now I don't see it anymore. Why are they taking it out? There's so many things that don't. Sometimes it makes me question. I will sit down and will say, okay, God, tell me about. I don't understand. This does not make sense to me. I am that person, right? Because at the end of the day, the way you present yourself to a person is the way that person will receive you. If you present yourself as lowly, as not worthy, as ratchet, as everything with low esteem, that person that likes that type of people will be attracted to you, and they will dump more on you. Because the oppressor never thinks about your comfort. They think about their comfort, because they see that you're vulnerable, and they will use your vulnerability to step up. So Nigerian women they keep catering to the patriarchy. Women issues are going on in Nigeria right now. At every instant, a woman is spied. No woman stands up in Nigeria. If I thought they sound like 3 or 4 or 5 go gather, they'll say they go protest. Everybody just carries on like nothing happened. Next door, a husband go don't lay hands on his wife, buy him. Nobody go talk anything. Everything go move, come out. It is ludicrous. That kind of thing for
Omoye,
year. You get one girl now.
Omoye, I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you know the part of the world we find ourselves? I've seen this when I was in UK, in America. You see man will bring another young boy inside his own house, pay the boy to satisfy his own wife. You understand? I've never seen woman. Yes. I've never seen woman bring a woman to give your husband. You understand? Yes, you might see woman might pay for you to take you go strip club or make them follow you play. But say service time. Now man they carry go carry young boy come house to service your own wife. You understand? To tell you in as much as it can be stupid, but to tell you the privilege of the woman, because the man fear divorce. You understand? The man no will lose. Probably the man no say me.
Yeah, divorce they make plenty people poor for America now, especially the men.
No, exactly.
I've seen a man that killed himself because the wife got divorced. He lost everything. To tell you what
woman enjoy in this part of our world, this world here.
Yeah.
Then one woman go say, I don't want to go because of my pikin. I don't want to go because of a Yaramota. I don't want to go because I'm a Bolan lady. They suffer there, they go. But yeah, the man felt, I don't want to even lose. Say, okay, if now service be the problem, since I don't try, I don't take all type of pills, I cannot satisfy you well. Make I go bring one younger boy. After all, I am nice to you. I am homely. I do everything. I wash, I do laundry, I do everything. But this part that I cannot do, can I bring somebody else? If you don't understand, you say you don't have a problem. The man ain't gonna bring you come. Say, feel free, don't worry. Nothing. I give you my word. You already know the house, you know everything. Anything happen to you, tell your friend before you come. You understand? You will go service Oga Madam.
To tell
you the privilege. You understand? But in our own world, the exact reverse is the case. Stay there saying that because of my pikin, because of a landlady Amebo, because of my sister, because of this, because of that, I be choir mistress for church, I be usher for church.
Nigerians, they sabi do that because of this thing, because of they like to live life for. I never see people like that. Anyway, maybe now because I did America, I don't change, because I'm sure I was like that before.
Yeah, at some point, if you grew up in Nigeria, at some point there was some ignorance.
Of course,
that
all our life now.
Femi Bash, one second, brother Paul. Femi Bash say we pray for everything in Nigeria. Who amongst us didn't give testimony in church when they got American visa? I did not, though. I know I've been one of those. My hands are up. I know I don't do any of that one. No.
No, not
Femi's
me.
fun.
I don't even know say I don't. I don't even know say I don't get visa. I don't know say I don't get visa, but I don't get visa. That you
Marriott
understand?
even to
Because
see Anna. See, all of us, most of when if you cross Nigeria, at some point we're operating at some level of Marriott. Say when I was 19, I used to say I wanted a man who made more money than me because he should be higher. You see, I never prayed. That's one prayer I never prayed, thankfully. I never ever saw it like that at all. But thankfully, I mean, I was dumb in other ways, oh. Don't get me wrong. You get where
no,
me say,
I had my own fair share. I won't tell you when I was going to Christ Embassy as a very young church. Then Christ Embassy was in Central CBN Estate in Satellite Town. I could remember very well. Christ Embassy made me have my first current account. The intimidation done too much as a young boy, and I can't be leper. And I know say small money there for my back pocket. I go open, no, now me say I begin the tear check. You understand? I begin the tear check. I can tell you, so I have my own fair share. So if I said I was not big on visa because I see all my boss, they all go abroad for courses, for training, for this, for that. So it's like it's not a special thing where you see people go and come back. You know, when you live in an environment where somebody go abroad, you know, yeah, from 10 years, he come back with 10 cars, 20 cars. Then the day you get your visa, you'll be so excited. But I see people keep going, coming because I work in the airline. So when it gets to my turn, it was not like a big thing. I was
Yeah.
happy for the ESTA code, the allowance. Yes, but not for the visa. Now the allowance that will come with it. You understand? I was really,
Yeah.
really happy on that one, you know, but not that. But I've shared my own fair share of this church thing, even when I come from a divided home. When it comes to Christianity, my father is a Jehovah's Witness, my mother is a Pentecostal. So my father laugh at my mom every day. You understand? But my mom has that influence, like they say, women make the home. So my mom keep drawing us, you understand, to the other side. So I share my own fair share too, you know. But other than that, I don't want to think so. But come to our ladies and our society, and we the men too, we cause it a lot because we bring this problem to the women and blame the women for it. You know,
Exactly.
so yeah, we bring the
Exactly.
problem to them,
Another thing too, the
then we
men
blame
don't
them for
know.
it.
A lot of
Go-
Nigerian men too are still naive. They don't know how to treat women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
They need to. They
we'll
need
borrow our
knowledge.
stupid thing called culture. Even when we have fantastic culture, we lie under culture. Meanwhile, now one of our nonsense uncle do stupid thing with say be our culture. Some of them may not even be our culture.
Mm-hmm.
You
It's true.
understand? May not be our culture, but we just
Yeah.
lie because of this man uncle do. I'm not strong man. He married 5 wives. He's strong. He did 81 years. He married this. He do this one. You know, stupid thing. You see, a young boy of 20 years smoking cigarette. He go see that landlord for the next 2 compound. And you understand? He don't they smoke cigar. He's saying they 6 years when they smoke cigar. Not be 90 years birthday they do for them the other day. And never that thing. You can imagine the reason how we do stupid things.
Not
You
be
understand?
man, not be
You
men
know,
create the culture. Culture can be amended, it can be
it can
adjusted,
be
it can be
that.
fixed.
Oh
You
my God
know,
bless you, whether you like it
it
or
can
not.
be
That is my
fixed.
thing. Me too. Am I not entitled to also create my own?
Exactly.
Am I
It
not
can be
entitled to also
fixed.
create my own? Must they know me with only my name?
Exactly.
Papa Agogo, na there end. Can't I also
You
create
know,
something?
exactly. Genevieve,
No.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm talking in the context of when we're sharing the conversation earlier. I also believe that God is a man too. There are times that I believe he's a man. There are times I believe that he's a woman. I mostly believe he's a woman than he is a man. He shows more of his feminine side as a woman more so than as a man. When when basing it on the Bible, because that's all I've read, right? And some of the folklore, African folklore. Matter of fact, there's a religion, I think it's Yoruba. I forget the name now. Hi. I was there's a particular, so in the Yoruba context of creation, they see God as a woman. So to them, right, a certain part of a belief in Yoruba, anybody that it comes from that
You're
area,
talking
please
about
let
the
me
story
know.
of the Oya.
They believe that woman, a God is a woman because she created all things. When they tell the story, it's very fascinating. I heard this story a long time ago now, so my memory doesn't really serve me well. but they believe that God is a woman, right? Because he created, only woman has a capacity to create. No other species can create than a
Oh yeah,
woman.
Yoruba
Even
believe
all
that
the
very well.
animals, the
That's why you see
feminine.
that they
Exactly.
always
And
they
then
always tell they
also,
always tell
there
their
are
kids not to tell
times,
people outside their mother's name, because if they want
exactly,
to catch you, it's your
catch
mother's
them
name they
is through
always
the
use.
mother's name, exactly. So
Yeah.
then also there are also times where I believe that God is a child. I kid you not, right? There's also times that I believe that he's a child, he's in the form of a child. And there's other times where I feel that God is a lion. I'm telling you, because I think about these things. When I sit down and I maybe something crosses my mind, I analyze it. I'm like, really, I'm seeing so many things in this particular sentence. So, having said that, I agree with you. And bro, Paul, it goes both ways. Most couples are swingers. Femi Bash, you should come and tell us the story of swinging. You don't talk on before. This is like the second time you're saying it. I want to really hear. I want to hear because some people, I want to understand the appetite behind that.
Femi,
For
come
real,
here,
for
come and
real.
give us your own narrative from North, because you go North. Make we hear the
Who be
other
that?
side too.
Who be
Femi,
that?
Femi now. Femi live in
Okay.
the North. Let him also give us his own story from the North too, from the North
Aha.
angle too,
He
because
say
that's
it's
another
on.
place where,
He
yeah.
says on the low low, but most do, while others have open marriages like Will, Jada, blah blah blah. If we're made in the image of God, of course God is a woman, is a man and a woman. Yeah. And then Obatala, thank you, Marriott. Obatala is androgynous. I read about Obatala long time ago, long time ago. I'll go and research. Yeah, there's one though that will focus specifically on the feminine. I can't remember what it is now. I have to
You are
go and
talking
research
about
it.
Oya.
Maybe it's Oya because they said the woman is the way they see in their own belief that God is a woman. So in their culture, they hold women in high esteem. Can you believe that, people? That's in Africa. When people go, they talk, say this. That's why I believe that the innate culture of Africa is feminine. Now, when these colonialists come, now they dabaru everything. Now they bring about patriarchy. A patriarchy not they exist for African context because the mama maternal is very powerful in the African context, right? So maybe now, yeah, because they say now create. So they believe say now woman, now God, now woman, right? Because he creates all things. Not only God, not only woman get the capacity of all waiting God creates to to create life, to give life, right? And they say in they can compare them with the Christian concept, say, after God don't create man, after because the way the Christian scripture they talk woman be like afterthoughts. That's a fact because they say
Yeah.
God put man to sleep. He can't go come
Mm.
out. He can't look. He say, he be like say sorry for Adam because okay, may I make a woman where go be helpmate. He can't come out read. He can't
Yeah.
make. He helpmate.
Yeah.
But if you look at all the creatures that God created, He created them at the same time, male and female. Why be
Female.
say now only human being
Only
come?
woman.
He can't only create man first. He can't think. He can't say
Then
afterthought. Okay, let
Omo,
me come and
use your
create
Bible,
woman. So
use the
there's
Catholic to
something
summarize.
wrong there. I have
If
a
you use the
problem with
Catholic
that.
to summarize the way the Catholic pray again, he also contradict
Mhm.
that. Only
Uh-huh.
Mary, mother of God.
Mother of
They even pray through Mary to tell you the
exactly
power of woman.
of woman. Do you understand? So you see, say that they even it's almost like they are contradicting themselves in the Christian religion in and of itself. Because if you and then they criticize the Catholics for they'll say they are idolizing Mary more. That's not what they're doing. They are honoring her because guess what? Don't you honor your mother? I honor my mother. Who doesn't honor their mother here,
Tell
right?
me about
Apart
it.
do you understand? So it is self-contradictory. We need
When I
to
lost
be,
my mom, everybody said they know I will never come to Nigeria again.
you understand? So we need to be very, very critical when some of these things, you just gotta ask yourself a few questions like, why? Why is it like this? I personally believe that woman is in the center of all of this. Something must have happened sometime long ago that had turned this whole thing upside down. So the woman is not an afterthought, as a matter of
Yeah.
fact.
Even
The
the West
woman
that
was
tell you that,
created the
yeah.
same time. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's very, very hard for a man to have a custody of a child when the child is still small, because the mother creates this child. The mother
Ha.
will bond this child. The mother have very important role. No matter how the mother be, it's very, very rare for man to have a custody of a child until that child is grown. To tell you the power of a woman, they know these things. They know these things.
Yes.
Just few patriarchy and the lies just twist the whole thing the other way around.
Exactly. So being pay, welcome back. Oh.
Thank you. Sorry, my internet was just acting up. Then I tried to do stream my ear on my laptop, and it was telling me my mic
Okay.
is not connecting. So anyway, I'll fix that later. Yeah, thank you,
Ah,
Jam. Mm.
no wahala. Yeah.
Well, with the God, I know there is Olodumare. These are the
Yes,
Ifa
Olodumare
worshippers.
is. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No problem. The Ifa worshippers, they talk about Olodumare, which is God, which is they
Mm-hmm.
say Olodumare, just like we say God. Olodumare is
Mm,
God, and they also see it in the light of as a man. So I'm not sure, where they see the woman as God. I'm not sure, but what I know is there's the goddess of the water, which is Oshun. Oshun
mm-hmm.
is the goddess of the water, and she's known for fairness and purity. And she also gives
Mm-hmm.
children, according to the belief, that she gives
Right.
children. And that's why the worshippers they always wear white. So I know that one too, but I'm not really sure about how they see women as God. But I know they talk about Oludumare and Ifa and Orunmila, which is
Mm-hmm.
Orunmila, according to them, is like the person that brought Ifa into the world from Olodumare. So it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
one of similar to maybe Jesus, and Jesus brought brought life, or brought break took away people's sin, something like it's very weird, but
Right.
that's what I think. That's the story that I know about. But
Right.
it might be possible because Yoruba and our history, unfortunately, colonialism has done a lot of harm than good. There's a
Yes.
lot about our history as a people that we don't know, and it's not that that information is not available. It's available,
Yes.
but it's just hidden somewhere that we don't know.
Yeah,
So, because
because
I
we
remember when I was
believed.
watching the.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish what I don't
Okay.
want to interrupt you.
Because I remember, yeah, I remember when I was watching the African man, the colony of an African man, something on Netflix. That show, although as
Mm-hmm.
much as
Mm-hmm.
it didn't boil my mind, it was a lot of learning there. Yeah,
Yes.
I was fuming. And that's why I like to stay away from any movie that has to do with slavery, colonial, because
Yeah.
the way it makes me feel, ah,
Yes.
my
Angry.
when I feel angry, I'll be boiling for me.
Yes.
So I just try and stay away
Yes.
from them because it's too depressing. But anyway, when I was watching that African colony on Netflix, it was the guy was dropping in some nugget about the history of how Nigeria was formed, how people come from the other part of Nigeria and relocated in every part of. So it was very interesting movie. I can't really remember the title, but I know he mentioned some bits and pieces about our history. However,
Mm-hmm.
we still don't have like a comprehensive knowledge of who we are as a people. To be honest, we still don't have. Even
Right.
if we have some of our parents, they can't really they'll just give you bits and pieces of what maybe their father told them. Some of them are even forgotten. But I wish we have, and unfortunately, the history that they are teaching in school as well, in Nigerian schools, it doesn't really paint a picture of our people, like the good things that our people did, like the
Yeah,
land.
because it's been whitewashed. Well, here's the thing with our history, right? We
Mhm,
African history is mostly oral. It's based on we had our own special type of writing, but that
mhm,
is not common. So it didn't have a chance to develop. So there was
Mm.
no opportunity for it to develop. Because I remember the counting system. My grandmother had a different way of counting, where I don't know. I'm sure you guys, but you probably know it too, where she
Mm.
would draw like 1 1 1 1, and then she will cross it with another one, and she write
Mm.
1 1 1. She counts in fives,
Pies. Oh, okay. I see.
right?
Just like the Roman
Those are the
numeral.
Roman numeral.
Exactly. But she will
We,
write
I did
one
that in
one. She will
primary school. That
cross
was how
it.
I used to count in primary school.
Aha. So my grandmother used to come like that. And because the African, our ancestors believed in oral history. Now, the truth is this: our history as a people is in our DNA. There'll be things that you'll find yourself doing and you'll be wondering where this came from. I don't know about you, but it's happened to me a number of times. Like, where am I? Why am I thinking? Why am I doing things like this? Wait a minute, where is this coming from?
Mm.
The history of our people, I think, I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like the creator hid our history within our DNA because he felt it to be corrupted. This is my own understanding from all that has happened in Africa. Because if you look at what's going on, there's an intentional uh, um, um, there's an intentionality behind certain people wanting to pollute who we are as a people.
Mhm.
So do you think that the creator that has created us doesn't know that? So he's going to do it in such a way that we ourselves will have to discover. It has to be a discovery for us. Until you get to that point of discovery, you can't really know who you are. So you have to do the work because it's hidden. It's hidden in your DNA. You're going to come to start understanding certain things. Like now, I remember this particular, I was listening to a program, and this was a while back, and this person was talking about, how she um she was explaining that the way the Catholics have Saint Vincent de Paul, Saint this one, Saint that one, is
Mhm.
similar to the way, like, Orunmila, right? He was sent by the
Mhm.
creator Olodumare, right? Those
Mhm.
people were normal human beings. So they were normal human beings, but they had extraordinary gifts that they brought to the people. They carried messages from Olodumare to the people. They were people. So they were like
Oh
saints.
yeah,
So,
sorry, Oda, good night. But
oh,
I'll still be watching.
okay. Thank you very
Okay.
much,
Yeah,
Brother Paul.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love you
So,
guys, but I'm not going yet.
no problem. Thank you very much for joining. I
Yeah.
appreciate your support, Brother Paul. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, so all these people, Olodumare, the different deities, right? They're
Mhm.
not gods. They're just people they did good works for human beings, for humankind. So people
Mhm.
did not forget them. So people will honor them, just like they have saints in the Catholic Church, which made sense, right? So because
Mhm.
if you think about it, they say, why do you pray to your ancestors? But guess what, though? The Bible says Christ died. But
Yeah.
when you're praying, you have to call his name. Is he not an ancestor?
Mm.
Literally, he is an ancestor. So why do you call his name when he prays? So why then do you condemn somebody who prays to their ancestors? They are honoring their
Exactly.
ancestors. They are
Yeah.
pouring libation. They are saying in the name of the forefathers that they have, they
Their
pour.
forefather. Yeah.
There's
But
nothing wrong with that.
people are always like, eh, boy, is voodoo. It's
Yeah,
dark.
it's not
It's
voodoo.
dark. That is, but I'm like, but like you said, sometimes there was a day I was reading the Bible. I was just like, in all this Bible, they only mention, I think it's Ethiopia that they mention that is Africa. I don't
Uh-huh.
see anywhere they talk about Africa.
Uh-huh.
Because sometimes you have to sit back, and I'm a Christian too, but I'm getting to a point that I'm questioning what I'm being taught.
Exactly. You gotta
I just have
question it.
to. I just have to because I feel like, why do you have to say in Jesus' name? I mean, Jesus. There's nobody Jesus that. Oh, and every country in the Bible, it doesn't have any name, close to Africa at all. So why are we using it?
Exactly.
How do we even know that what we are doing is the right thing? And I know the religious
Exactly.
people, don't come for me, please. We're having a open mind discussion.
It's exactly.
Don't come for anybody. Just have an open
No,
mind.
they can't
Let us,
come. They wait
let
till they
us
want
not
come
just
for.
gop information in. Nobody's saying we should go and renounce. Me and Omoye, we are Christian. We should go and renounce
Exactly.
our religion tomorrow. Just for us to have a conversation. Like, okay,
Yeah.
we are going to say our own forefathers' religion is diabolical, is bad. Is Christianity not diabolical in a way? When you are religious about it, it's diabolical. When you are religious about it can be diabolical too. It's just
Exactly.
that they might not be chanting anything, but
Mm-mm.
reading the Bible is actually incantation.
It is the
When
English
you read the
language
Bible, is
spelling.
incantation. When you speak
Yes.
Psalm 20, this Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd. When you quote that word, it's like you are chanting something to counter something.
Yes.
It's just that in a different language.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
I've sat back, I'm like, you know what, this Bible thing, and unfortunately, there's nobody that you can even go and meet to like explain to you or break it down, because they too will just say it is well. God will teach you. God will show you. God will give you the knowledge. Say, wait,
Because they
that's not
don't
what I'm
have the
saying.
answers.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. There's nowhere in Bible that they talk about any part of Africa. They always talk about Egypt and history. Egypt fall down. Every Egypt in my life. Egypt is still standing. Does it even make sense
Exactly.
to be praying that kind of prayer? Every
Oh,
Egypt in my life will fall. This
so
it's a lot on my head, and I'm glad that you brought it up, because I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking that this Christianity, because I wasn't born in a Christian family. I was born into a Muslim family. I grew up and I converted to Christianity. But my mom, she's still a Muslim, and she respects my religion. I respect her religion. She doesn't bother me. So, but I'm getting to a point that, because we have to go back to, it seems like we have to go back to the basis. But unfortunately, a lot of people are so far gone. They're so
yeah.
far, they don't even want to go back. Like, they don't even want to entertain the idea of, even, let's talk about our forefathers' religion. They don't even want to talk about, they don't even want to hear it.
Me, I
Because
they
to
talk
them,
about
it's
them
like
and I they
voodoo.
make research. I no hide
It's like
my own.
voodoo
I
to
don't care
them.
what anybody thinks, because it's very, guess what?
It's
Knowing who you are is
important.
directly connected to knowing your
Yeah,
creator.
I agree.
Knowing who you are is directly connected to knowing your creator. I can tell you for free, the
Mm,
more I knew who I am, the more I started to understand deeply who
mm.
the creator was. I kid
Can
you
I
not.
ask Bimpe a question? Her name is Bimpe, right?
Yes,
The
yes.
lady that just talked. Yeah. Yeah, Bimpe,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to ask you a
Mm-hmm.
question. When you are
Yeah.
reading the Bible, have you ever like
Mm.
one day like pray and say, the God of this Bible, I really I want to know, like I open my eyes. Because one
Yes, I've
thing
done.
about Christian, huh?
You go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
I want
one
you
thing
to
I
finish
know
your
about
thought.
Christianity,
Mm-hmm.
hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Hello? Yeah,
I don't
one
know
We
thing
if
I
can
know
hear
about
you.
Christianity is that, yeah, Christianity is spiritual. And if you try to describe Christianity with physical things, like you try to use your own personal understanding, then it becomes very
Mm-hmm.
confusing. That's why even in the
Mm-hmm.
Bible, it is written that the letter of the Bible kills, but the spirit is what
Mm-hmm.
gives life. So if you try
True.
to interpret the Bible with a layman's perspective, with a layman's views, that's where all this confusion comes in. But
Okay, so for real,
if you
I don't think
if you
that's
What?
the issue. For real, for
Yeah.
real. So
Mm-hmm.
just before you go any further, Bimpe
Okay.
is not disputing what you're saying. What we're having here is an open conversation. Okay, nobody really no, only God knows who his true worshippers are. Number one, he
Mm-hmm.
knows who
True.
those that are truly worshiping him are. We don't know for a fact. It's a fair question. Where is the Bible? What's the source of the Bible? I told you as a child, there were books that I knew growing up that were in the Bible. As I grew
You'll be
older,
taking
those
out.
those script. Wait now, those we're not disputing what you are saying. So it's not a conversation about spirituality or whether we believe the word in the Bible or we don't. That's not what this is about. I don't want us to get that
Yeah.
confused. So you are not
Mm-hmm.
trying so that it doesn't look like you're
okay,
preaching to being paid. She probably knows the Bible better than you and I as we are speaking, right? We're just trying to have an open
okay,
conversation here because there's a lot of I can tell you for free. For instance, the Ethiopians have their own. They have their own Bible, and it's the original Bible. How about that? And what their scripture says in their Bible is different. They don't have a Jesus. There's no J in the Hebrew language. There's no J. There's no word as
Jesus is
J.
the English
Do you
word.
know?
The
Do you
actual
know
Hebrew
what?
name is
Wait
Yahushua.
now, for real,
Yahushua. That's the
for
Hebrew
real,
name.
for real. Yehoshua
Hmm?
does not translate to Jesus. You got to do your research. Yehoshua does not translate to Jesus. They just stamped that name on it. We're not disputing that. Now, that's not the conversation we're having. I don't want us to get confused here.
Yeah, I don't
We're
want to
having
say
a
that.
very
I don't want the
open-minded
conversation to be
conversation here.
whether God there's
No,
Christ or
that's it.
there's
I'm just
Jesus
trying
or
to,
anything.
give my
There
own
is.
opinion.
No,
Mm-hmm.
it's not. We're not
Let's
trying to have opinions here. We're just having a very
just be
open-minded
open. Yeah,
conversation about the word of the
of the Bible.
Bible itself
Mm-hmm.
compared
Mm-hmm.
to what we have back home.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
we have, because let me tell you, the same way you are very emphatic about saying the word of God, you have to be spiritual to understand it and all of that, is the same way somebody who practices the traditional religion of our fathers
Yeah,
believes in it and tells you
yeah,
you have to be spiritual to see it.
yeah.
So it's very important to ask, just like you said, pray, let God reveal it to you. You can do that
Yeah, that's
also,
what I wanted to say. That
right?
in short,
Yeah,
in a
we
short
know
word, that's
that
all I
though.
wanted to
We
say to
know
her.
that. We know that. She knows that. I think she knows that better than
Yeah.
me, better than you, like I said
Mm.
earlier. Right. This is an open-minded conversation. It's not for everybody. Not everybody's ready to have this conversation.
You have the
I am aware of
exactly,
that.
exactly. And
So
I even brought it up because Omoye brought it up.
yeah.
If it's other platform, I wouldn't see anything because
And
I know
again,
you have to read the room. It's not every conversation that is meant for every room that you are in.
everybody.
So just mute. But because you brought it up and for some reason our conversation led to that tonight, that's why I brought
Yeah.
up what I've been thinking. So I'm not saying that there's no Christians or I don't read the Bible or I've not prayed about it. My sister, I've prayed, I've read, I've fasted. But I just feel like I don't know. I feel like within me there's something. There's something that I feel like this Bible. I'm I'm not saying it's not real, but also I cannot say whether it is real or not because I can't pinpoint where we Africans fit in. That is why
We don't fit in. You know why we don't
we
fit
don't
in?
fit in.
When the creator created us as people,
Mm-hmm,
as black people, this is
mm-hmm,
free information now that I'm giving to anybody. You can please do your own
Hmm.
research on your own. I'm not here to teach or convert anybody. When the creator created, let me tell you, when the colonialists came to Africa, okay,
mm-hmm.
Leopold Sedar Senghor, right? Is it the king of Dutch, or whatever, wherever he came from, I can't remember. He wrote a letter to the missionaries. He said, these people, they already have a knowledge of God.
Yeah, I think
So
somebody
don't
shared that
teach them,
information. Yeah, I think
don't
somebody
teach
shared
them
it.
about God, because they
Mm-hmm.
already know that it is evil, it is bad to snatch another man's wife. It is bad to do so. They already have a knowledge of God. What we are here to do is to literally just deceive the people so that they can
And take that which
collect
they have
our
from
own
them.
property.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That
Yeah.
tells you
I'll
something.
find that post. Somebody posted it. I
Yes.
think it was, do you know Franklin?
Let me find it.
I
Actually, let
think
me look for
somebody
it
posted
here.
it and I was like, what? So
Yes.
I don't know
I
the name of
posted
the
it
other
on
lady.
my community
Oh,
page
maybe you were the one that
one
posted, but I
time.
know I've seen it somewhere. Maybe I've
Yeah.
seen it on somebody post. I was like, wow. I tried to research, but things happen. I just brush it aside. So I am just questioning the information that I have. I'm not saying there's no Bible, the words in the Bible are not real. But why is it that we Africa, there's nowhere that we fit in the Bible? That's my question. Honestly, that's what I'm
Yeah,
questioning.
because
Why
it
don't we
wasn't
fit in?
written with us in mind. That tells you that the
So
book,
why was it not written? We have been on this world since how many years ago? Why
we're the
was it not
oldest
written
people on the
with
earth.
us
The
in mind?
oldest.
Why?
The oldest.
Why was it not written with us in mind? And let's put Holy Spirit. We all know Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit give according to whatever. We know there's Holy Spirit. But I'm just questioning the information that I have or the book that I'm seeing in front of me. Why is me as an African person cannot open a Bible? and say this is where they talk about Nigeria or a certain part of black people, because all the people, all the figures in the Bible, they are like white or
Yeah,
maybe
but they talked
Arab.
about Ethiopian. Ethiopian was black.
That's what I said. That's what I say. It's only
Moses' wife
Ethiopia
too
that they
was a
talk
black
about.
woman.
It's only Ethiopia that they
Huh?
talk about. Yeah. So, but it's not
But
only
they didn't
Ethiopia
talk
that
about
is in Africa.
Americans. They didn't talk about they didn't talk about
No,
a
but
lot of
you
other
have to
countries too.
think about the forefathers of Americans. The forefathers of Americans, they were white. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying what I'm saying to talk about countries. I'm just saying it as a people. As a people.
Okay,
Mm.
so let me read it.
So yeah.
Reverend fathers and dear compatriots, the task that is given to fulfill is very delicate and requires much tact. You will go certainly to evangelize, but your evangelization must inspire above all Belgium interests. Did you catch that? Let me read
Mm,
it again.
mm,
You will go certainly to evangelize, but your evangelization must inspire above all Belgium interests. Your principal objective in our mission in the Congo is never to teach the niggers to know God. This they know already. Let me read it again. Your principal objective in our mission in the Congo is never to teach the N word to know God. This they know already. They speak and submit to a Mungu, one Nzambi, one Nzakomba, and what else I don't know. They know that to buy, to sleep with someone else's wife, to lie, and to insult is bad. Have
mm,
courage to admit it. You are not going to teach them what they know already. Your essential role is to facilitate the task of administrators and industrials, which
mm,
means you will go to interpret the gospel in the way it will be the best to
mm,
protect your interests in that part of the world.
mm. That
For
part of
these
the world.
things, you have to keep watch on disinteresting our savages from the richness that is plenty in their underground. To avoid that, they get interested in it and make you murderous. Competition and dream one day to overthrow you. Your knowledge of the gospel will allow you to find texts, una dey hear,
Mm,
ordering and encouraging your followers to love poverty.
mm,
Hello.
mm,
Like
Mm-hmm.
happier are the poor because
mm.
they will inherit the
The
heaven.
kingdom
We
of
never hear
God.
that one before.
It is for
And it
Bible.
is very difficult for the rich to enter the kingdom of heaven. You have to detach from them and make them disrespect everything which gives courage to affront us, courage to fight us. Okay? They say you have to detach from them and make them disrespect everything which gives them courage to confront us, to fight us. I make reference to their mystic system and their war fetish. We didn't believe in war. We didn't believe in shedding unnecessary blood.
Mm,
Warfare protection, which they pretend, according to them, not to want to abandon. And you must do everything in your power to make it disappear.
mm,
Hello, somebody.
mm,
Better go
So
do your
I
research.
I think I need
Hmm.
I need to read more about that. Maya, do you have the link? Can you share the
I
link if
have
it's
the link.
possible
You
in
do you
the
have my
in the
email
chat?
address, Bimpe?
Should you have it in your
It's on my about. So if you
mail?
send me
Okay.
an email, I will
I'll
just
send you
send you
an
the
email,
link. Yeah.
please. Yeah, I need to, because me, I'm not saying Christianity is, please though, because some people can be here, they know me, and it's not that I'm
Christianity is not
afraid. Though.
bad. Nobody
I'm
is
not saying
criticizing
Christianity is bad
Christianity.
though. I'm
It's
just
very
speaking for
important to
myself.
question things that
I'm
you're
just
taught.
questioning
Very,
things,
very
and
important
it's
as a
okay
human
to
being.
question. It's okay. That doesn't mean tomorrow I will denounce and say I'm not doing Christianity again. I'm just saying let's have, especially we Black people, let's have open mind. I notice that our people, we are, especially when it comes to religion, we are so close-minded. We don't even want to hear any other thing.
Exactly. That's a problem.
Calm
That's a
down now.
problem.
This
They'll say
religion is
it's
not
demonic,
our
it's demonic,
own.
because they've clearly told you that's a strategy to
Yeah,
make you think, to disown your own and make you think that your own is evil.
it was adopted. Either we like it, no matter how we want to put it, we adopted it. It's a fact. It's not our own, but that doesn't mean
Exactly.
it's terrible or it's not good. But we should question, because there's so many havoc happening. And when you see so many things happening, you wonder, what's going on? And they say this thing, as a man of God, as a woman of God, as a child of God, this is the way you should behave. But people are behaving, in opposite, like total opposite of what we think they should be doing. So it's okay to question, to have an open mind. That doesn't mean tomorrow we'll renounce our religion. Me, I'm just questioning some things, and I'm looking for information. That's just me. So I rest my
Yeah,
case.
absolutely. Nothing wrong with that. And we're already spiritual people. We already knew who God was inside us. I tell you a quick story. When I was a child, right? I used to have dreams, vivid dreams. And I'll wake up and I used to see things as a child. I did not know who God was, but I experienced him. I didn't know his name though. I did not know his name. I literally would have conversation with this person. I did not know who he was. He never told me his name. Okay? And there was nothing, I couldn't describe him as a human being because I could not see. I knew he was an image. I knew he was an image of a person, but I can't, if you tell me draw, I can't draw. I can't draw the person. I can't make out the person. But I had a close relationship with this being as a child. As a child. I kid you not. I literally felt him all around me as a child. When did somebody start coming to preach to me? When I was in secondary school. They used to come, all these BLW people and all these fellowship people, they'll come preach. I never listened to them. I followed my heart. Because I had this unique experience. Please, nobody, see, when for God already knows his people. Take this to the bank. If you like, pray from now to tomorrow. If you are not God's people, you are not his people. You are just joking around. You are just mixing words. There are certain words that you say that you're not even supposed to say. They are spells, literally, in the English language.
Yeah.
Let's not go too deep. Mo will
Yeah.
just leave and there because.
Oh, yeah, I have to leave now. I have to
All
go
right,
somewhere.
then, no problem.
So,
Thank you very much
thank
for
you.
it. Thank you for your
Thank
You're
you.
contribution.
welcome.
Take care. All right, then.
Thank you, Vinky. All right, bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a
Good
good
night.
night.
Bye. Yeah, they're not.
Good conversation. We start from where did we start from today? From
From
the
the
woman with
video
the
that
problem
somebody shared to you and
to
Judy and
the poor children.
to children.
Why do you even enter this religion matter?
We
But it's a good
don't. We
conversation.
really don't fit in. We need to be asking questions. Please,
We
people,
we
ask
we should
questions.
do. We
By all
should.
means, be a Christian if you want to, remain a Muslim if you
Yeah.
want to, whatever, but
Whatever you
question.
find. But
God gave you
question.
a head so that you can think and question. Don't just follow the pack, because the least you know, you're following the pack to the very hellfire that they've already told you. Because the whole idea, let me tell you something. Even in that scripture, there's sprinkles of truth. The enemy rules in this space that we're in. Do you think he wants you to have the right information? It's just a question.
Mm.
You
Mm.
really think you think he's not going to do everything to twist it around? Do you really, really believe? You gotta ask questions, my people. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. There's nothing wrong with even talking to the God, the creator, and saying, lead me. I just
Yeah.
want to know,
Give
what
me
exactly am
clarity.
I doing? What direction should I go? Who really are you?
That's
You
where I am
understand?
now, Manuel. That's where, because I'm having a little bit of a conflict and I just need clarity. I need to know. I need that God. I need it. Not that I don't talk to God, but I really want to have that relationship that people were talking about. Because I want to know, are you even for real, or we are just carrying book and reading Psalm and just quoting? Show yourself to me and let me know if I'm on the right path, or just enlighten me more, so that I will not be having doubts in my head, And it's okay to have,
Exactly.
so that's what
Exactly.
and
And the problem,
one thing,
the,
sorry, May, one thing I've
mm,
noticed, we the black people, and I don't want to sound, I don't want to be maybe politically correct or whatever, but I noticed that black people as a race, and this is for the whole black people all over the world, we are the most disunited race
it's
in this world.
intentional.
How did
It's
that happen? I
intentional.
don't know. And it's so
It's a
funny.
spell that
Black
has been
people are the
put
same
on
way in no matter where they are.
every
They behave the
continent. They are
same
the
way.
same way.
Why?
Mm,
Why do we behave the same way? Even though we don't grow up in the same environment, but we have the same behavior. When it comes to disunity,
exactly.
we are so disunited. If you come together now and say we want to do something, something will come, will separate us. Or they
Exactly.
will come and penetrate us, and we'll let them penetrate us. So why is
Exactly.
it like that?
Yeah.
How did that happen? How
It's
did we?
intentional. It's intentional. There are spells. I did tell you, say there are spells in this English language when they speak.
Yeah.
There are words that are spells that we
Do you
use
even know
every day
whether we are
over
the
our lives.
Egyptians? Are we the Egyptians that was put in the Bible?
They buy the guess what though? The map was turned upside down. The map, as you know, it is not the real map. It is not the real map. Africa was chopped down. Africa is the biggest continent by far. They chopped it, they turned it upside down. Where the north is, where they tell you the north is, that's not where the north, that's not where the north is. I'm telling you, they turned everything upside down to suit their narrative. You people were dealing with enemies in high places. We are still playing 10
Unfortunately,
until we
are not
start to
enlightened.
find
Yes.
and question and come back to who we truly are. We're on a long term. That's just the fact. Anybody can say whatever they want. You can believe whatever you want. I'm not holding you. I'm not tying your hand. Believe unto as you want to believe. As for me, I'm critical with my thought process, unapologetic about it.
Yeah.
Because
Not even with
I
everything
owe
that
it
is
to
going on
myself.
now. With everything that is going on, you don't even know. You don't know the wheat from the shaft. You cannot even separate
Exactly.
which one is real, which one is fake. It's a lot of drama every day,
Everywhere.
and it's mostly with Christianity.
Yes.
You always hear one thing or the other every day.
Every day.
Why? Then we need to question that. We need to question what we know. Question it.
Exactly.
Are we even doing it the right way, or is it we that we are not doing it the right way, or maybe what we are really doing is not even the right thing to do? But some of our people, they don't want to hear. They just shut down once you start bringing up, maybe African spirituality or our background.
They'll say it's juju. They'll say it's voodoo.
If I reject you, I cast you, I bind you. So I sit down there, be casting and binding.
Exactly. In school, in secondary school, we did Bible knowledge, religious knowledge. I was taught Islam in class.
Yeah.
Why am I not a Muslim? I was taught the Bible in class.
Okay,
as a text. So guess what though? It is very important. You need to add knowledge to knowledge. Even the Bible that you read is inside there. Add knowledge to knowledge.
Yes.
Educate yourself. Renew your mind. How you say they renew your mind? Is by you reading books and exposing yourself. Okay? When you have to, even the creator, you think the creator is not analytical? Look at the world. Look at how complex it is. Can you unravel it? Your creator has given you an analytical mind and you're not using it. You are just staying in one place. You have to question everything. Everything. That's where you find the
an
truth.
open mind
Yes.
to learn. Because some things, like you said, when you start questioning, you will get to some things, you will get there, it will be too deep. And also you have to be careful too, because some things are in this world are very deep and spiritual.
Exactly.
So you want to make sure that you filter what you expose. Yes, because some people, they seek for this knowledge, they can't function again. So, but it's good to question, to have an open mind.
It is,
I
and
just
it's
want
good
our
to
people to have an open mind.
Yes.
Have an open mind. Don't be close up.
Yes. Exactly. I read a book long time ago. It's called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, right? That
Mm-hmm.
book, it was like mystical. I read that book. The message, the central message of that book, without giving too much away, if anybody has the opportunity to read that book, please read that book. That book was the story of a little boy that decided to travel around the world seeking for silver and gold or whatever. But the central message of that book was anywhere you are, whoever you come across, the person you meet carries a message with them. It's either for good or for bad. But if it's for bad, it's to strengthen you. If it is for good, accept it. Because everybody in your life has a purpose. Now, that book I learned that from. My eyes were open when I was like, whoa. Because it directly related to, because I used to hear my dad tell us as kids then, he would say, be careful how you treat people. You never know. The person that you treat anyhow may just be the person that has your opportunity to help you. So be very kind to people. I used to hear that growing up. But when I read that book, it made so much sense. My perspective about life kind of shifted after I read that book. This is why it's good to have an open mind. Very open. If you don't have an open mind, you will be stunted in your knowledge and you will think you know, but yet you know nothing.
True.
And it will be that same ignorance. When that same your Bible that you read that says, my people perish for lack of knowledge, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Because we refuse to open our eyes and see what is happening, what is right, what's going on. It's okay to check for information. If you are shaky in your belief, that means your belief is not strong. If somebody is telling you something contrary to what you believe, that means your own belief is not strong enough. You should question your belief. You know, they had debts, exactly. They had a manual to ensure, and that's what they're still using to today. But people are beginning to open their eyes because the knowledge is now coming out. You know,
Yeah.
it's upside down. We need, we do, debts. You know, I did IRS throughout secondary school in my Catholic school. My bestie is a converted hijabi Muslim. We must all reach heaven. Oh my God, Marriott, you will not kill me. You must question to grow. Exactly. Or you stay stagnant, spinning your exactly. Oh my God. Debs, you read the book? We must connect. Oh my God. Please, Bigbe, Biko, find that book and buy. Most of those books now, right? I don't have them with me because I moved, so I lost some of those books. Are you still here, Bigbe? Let me be. Oh my God, 3 hours, 26
Yeah, we
minutes.
need to
Guy,
get it. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here. Yeah,
aha,
you know
okay,
what? I will email you maybe tonight or
okay.
tomorrow so that you can send me that information. Then I'll go and look for the book. Hopefully, it's on Amazon. If it's not
Yeah,
on
it
Amazon,
will.
I
It
can't
will
get
be
it.
on Amazon.
It will be on
Yeah, it will
Amazon.
be.
Okay. I'll
Yeah,
get it and I will read it. I'll know and I'll let you know because I want you to hold me accountable. Because I get so busy, I'll
absolutely. I
say
will
that.
even ask you. Anyway, I see you. I will
Eh,
ask you.
yeah, I will let you know. I'll let you
Yes,
know what I think because I really want to. Because I'm just seeking for knowledge.
yes.
I want to know. I want to read more. I want to have an understanding. And have an open mind. That doesn't mean I'm renouncing my Christianity tomorrow. But
No,
I just want to learn. At least
it will
learn
make
about
your
my
yes,
background. Who am I?
yes, yes,
You know,
and
I
it's
just
very
want to.
essential to knowing, to connecting with your creator. I'll tell you that for free.
Yes.
Knowing who you really are, understanding yourself better will give you a clearer understanding of your God.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Myron said I will open church. Me, ke, I beg you.
You can't go, they pay tithes for being paid church. Now all of
I
us will
know,
gather.
right? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? All if I have all that knowledge, I know our people now. Once you can maneuver your English very well and put everything together.
I'm
That's all
telling
you need.
you.
Our people, eh?
I'm
I know they
telling
open any church, church, okay. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Marriott, you won't be pastor for being paid church.
I know.
Come
Maybe
in there.
she will be the assistant pastor. Maybe
Assistant
what to be there.
pastor. You
Before
understand?
church can be anywhere in Nigeria. You don't even need license. That's, I think that's
No.
another problem with churches in Nigeria. It needs to be regulated. They are getting out of hand. It needs to be regulated. But anyway,
I'm telling
that's
you.
another story. I
No.
dear, let
I
me
haven't.
leave you.
All right.
Mm,
Thank you so much,
mm,
Bimpe. Yeah, I will look out for
Facebook
your
now.
email.
Yeah, I
I
will send it to
appreciate
you by
your call.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Sure.
thank you so
Yeah.
much. We'll talk later.
No
Enjoy
worries.
your evening. Oh, good
You
night.
too. Good night.
Yeah, thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Debs, have you read? I haven't read it too. I should probably buy this book from Amazon, The Destruction of Black Civilization. I need to read that book. Somebody had recommended it to me a while back. I never got around to it, but I think I may just buy the book so I can read it. Or if I can loan it, maybe go to the library and see if I can find it or something. Maybe I'll say understand your faith. I love me too. I mean, I love information about spirituality and and religion because it gives you a broad. I was watching this. There's this show on Netflix that I watched. Um, it's by Morgan Freeman. He was traveling all over the world, exploring all the religions. What's the name of this documentary? Oh, Kai. Chai. Let me see. It's very interesting documentary. What's the name of this? I found it fascinating, man. That thing is almost like it's something I'm just yearning from within. Let me see. Documentary, Morgan Freeman documentary on on the story of God. That's what it's called. It was by Morgan Freeman. Oh my goodness. Fantastic documentary. If you guys have the time, I should recommend it for Bingpe. If you can still hear me, you should check out the documentary by Morgan Freeman. It's called The Story of God. It's actually very interesting. Yeah. It made you understand Abrahamic religion so much better. Oh, okay, Marion. Abby now, she'll take your first fruit and seed. You're currently watching it. Okay, it's on National. Yeah, I remember they moved it from Netflix. It's now on National Geographic. It's really interesting, Marriott. How far have you gone? How are you finding it? Oh my God, I love that. Though. I enjoyed it personally. I did. It gave me a deeper, and you know what? It made me connect deeply with God. That documentary. I'm telling you. Yeah. Bimpe, if you're still on, you can check it out. If she emails me, I'm going to send her tell her about it. Uh, yeah, we need to catch up first. Send me an email, Debs. Let's connect by email, and then we can exchange our details. Yeah, we definitely need to catch up. I know. I don't think you're crazy, have you? Internet now, so my sister, we'll have to be careful. I totally understand. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Okay. I saw it on Netflix. So, oh, you should watch it, Debs. It's really good. It was on Netflix, but now it's on National Geographic if you have it, or you can look for it on YouTube. It's called The Story of God by Morgan Freeman documentary. Man, Marriott, I don't know about you, but that thing gave me a deeper insight into deeper connection with God after watching it. So many things that were shared and all the places that he went to, there was a central theme in everything that I was seeing. I was like, wow, this is deep, you know? So guys, we're gonna end it here, man. Make your girl go chill for the night. But thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate you guys. Now, no sound they take una for granted, though. Biko, help a sister get to 2K now. December don't they come on help me, oh. Mona help a sister out too. As we create this content, they go. As the ministry they grow. But I want to thank all of you. Mirabel, don't go sleep. Mirabel, my darling, sweet dreams. Thank you so much. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Debs. Thank you, Bingpe. Thank you, Brother Paul. Thank you to everyone. Who else was here? Oh, Highly Favored was here earlier. Femi Bash. Thank you so much, Femi. We go jam again for our political basbos. Femi. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. I appreciate you. I'll leave it here for now. I'll see you guys on my next one. On my next one, if you're catching this on replay, please let me know your thoughts. Kindly share your thoughts with me in the comment section. I love to read the comments. And if there's something you want us to talk about that's not too heavy, please email me and we will certainly talk about it in our next live show. Oh, Debs, oh my God, I'm glad you watched it. Bimpe, hey, I'm glad you're still here. Bimpe, check out The Story of God on YouTube by Morgan Freeman. Isn't it's it's by Morgan Freeman. You will enjoy it. Yeah. It has been great so far, right? Humans are similar everywhere. Absolutely. I tell you, for real, for real. Yeah. Good night. Good night, everyone. Abio, for your first fruit and offering, send it to Hazel Marriott. credit her. Bank a lot. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I'll see you on my next one. If you're catching this on replay again, Biko, let me know your thoughts. I like to read the comments. And don't forget to like and share and subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. We're using Corner Eye to Waka Pass. Subscribe. Let's carry the ministry forward. Good night. Love you all. Bye.